Gielinor, after speaking to Limsey Thorpe a little bit, the waves eventually made their way to Pig, who is a goblin, and we wanted to basically talk to Squeaka because uh Natrix heard from Toothpicks that he was an interesting fellow uh here in town. So we decided to catch up on how kind of how brush up on how these people kind of like come to find this town. And you know Pig explained how he and Squeega basically fled their old lives because of how uh you know like they were basically uh forced to have their a type like this. They were forced to be in these lives that they didn't want and that weren't like safe for them, so they left. And we talked about how Squeega used to have a wife, but they drifted apart, and Squeega's wife Gulra took her egg out to the eastern town. And basically now they're just kind of roommates and they're just chilling around, and we were able to have some of Pig's beer, which was amazing, and probably got everyone just as tipsy, even though it was a little bitter. But either way, eventually, after figuring out, kind of the lay of the town, how people make their way around here, we all decided to talk to Kingston because after Kushim told us about Captain Grace, we remember that Kingston said something about him, and how he we learned that basically she appraised it, and they learned that it was some kind of an ancient Mekhemet piece. Like it was by some kind of like a Menethite god. And yeah. Oh, another thing that was really interesting was that when Natrix asked her to look at his talisman, she relayed that it was actually a piece of treated dialt, and it was very possibly it was basically like holding a bomb in your hands. Like it was pretty dangerous to hold around. So he took that Kinston put it into some silk and let Natrix keep that, basically to make sure that nothing bad happens to it. And yeah. Alcana was able to buy a brass pendant with like a wolf on it, and that was very nice. And yeah, we basically learned that I think that's also where we learned, like, not where he lived, but like where we could, the general area of where we could find Captain Grace. But yeah, either way.
We learned a little bit more about symbol nonsense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We basically showed Kingston all of the symbols and figured out like, oh, which ones connect to where, and like what are more prominent in 4 and 3, stuff like that. Yeah, but either way, after that, we eventually made our way to Dethan, who is a priest who works in the church, and we had an interesting conversation with him. Basically offered work to Nia and Natrix in order to, translate some tablets, like maybe work in the town a little bit. And after that, Don decided to sneak to the back and just see what he could see, really. Like if anything was really suspicious. The only thing that we were able to find though was a note from a monk named Felix. Or Felix, yeah, something like that. And basically expressing how he's a little concerned about how the machine's going. There's some interesting translations that are assumed to be part of the tablet that we saw in the same room that Dethan was doing some of his rituals in. It was talking about goblins and possibly orcs, I think. Yeah, it was interesting. And eventually, I think we decided to go back to the Natrix's house, or Natrix's house? Toothpicks' house. And I mean, I guess this could be Natrix's house, but either way, um, yeah, Tuthpix. He basically asked Tuthpix some questions about the volcano, saying that and Tuthpix let us know that the Great Forge is uh like basically doing something over there. Like they're assumably creating a railroad, something like that. And the druids are kind of working together with them to help get that sorted out. But other than that, he's a little in the dark about what's totally happening. He also shared some interesting historical texts. The goal of the Veratus. And apparently there was like a big prison that used to operate back in Zamorak's ruling, with a big old demonic like rule, not ruler, but like uh entity that like ran the whole place. I think it was like, oh yeah, it was southwest of the ancient mega city of Urb Rubina. Woo! And yeah, um, well, after that conversation, we decided to head. Oh yeah, we decided to head out, to figure out where this Captain Grace guy lived, and we, yeah, we we were able to figure it out through a guy who's sitting at a desk. Um, yeah, we found out his cabin was nearby. What else? And oh, okay, so this happened a little earlier, not earlier in the day, but like in the middle of the day. Then the last thing we did that day was like Nia went to Dethin, just to like basically have a little job interview where she proved how well she could translate some texts, basically, because she has a lot of languages under her belt. But that was the last thing we did during the day. But during the night, Nia and Don went on a little heist spree. We basically went to Captain Grease's quarters, and we were able to find some interesting stuff. We found the ebony statue that Kushin was looking for, but the problem is it was broken. But when we looked inside, we saw that there is was it like paper that we saw? Like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it was paper that basically had the like Pentarchy, not the Pentarchy symbol. Uh it was
It
like
was the Satanic Cross.
Satanic cross. There you go.
The Desert
Double
Ease
cross
Zamrakini
symbol.
symbol.
Yes. And then we rolled investigation, and here we are.
Indeed, here we are. And here we will be for 1 second longer. I'm going to close my windows because it is getting loud outside.
Don't worry. I feel that. It's a little loud in my house right now. Let me know if I ever need to mute. I should get drunk normally. That was like the best little. Like last time, I felt like I got a little winded, like I was out of breath. But this time, I was just like chill. Like, yeah, man, this is what happened last time. Like maybe I slurred through half of it, but easy.
A fun session this will be.
I don't know what to expect.
Hey, it's like when you drunk drive and like you're like a more careful driver. I'll be a more careful D&D'er. Don't worry.
So,
That metaphor makes 0 sense.
you're all still with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we cut a few hours later. Where we find ourselves is with Nia and Dawn sneaking back through the wood to Tuthpix's tower. The trees, the branches of these slim-barked or non-barked trees rustle against each other. There is precipitation in the air that is a bit more of a mist at this dark hour. You don't see any signs of life in what passes for these makeshift streets, these spaces between the trees and these huts and hovels. But in the distance, you do still hear that faint rumble of thunder, this storm that hangs above you, threatening to break, yet never making good on that threat, at least not yet. Make your way to the tower, unspotted, unpursued. Now, you did find some interesting things while you were scouring Grace's cabin, I want to ask, do you think that you kept everything, lifted everything that caught your eye? I will say that, Dawn, you found a couple of pieces of what looked like very old illuminated parchment, kind of uh, kept in this folder, small enough for you to carry, that struck your eye as something interesting, even though you couldn't read it. Nia, on the other hand, in addition to the main statue, uh, Grace's cabin itself was full of various esoterica, statues of old coins, of stone masks, of depictions of ancient demons or sphinxes or hydras, of uh, weapons and armor extremely corroded, just one good jostle away from falling apart. But a few things did catch your eye in there. Most of them close to that broken Krontis statue, or below it in that same shelf. One, a large piece of parchment that seemed to be a rubbing of what looked like must have been something in relief, but that seemed to have been written in an archaic form of infernal. One, a metal plate, uh, also written in an archaic form of infernal, depicting a couple of demonic figures, and one, an additional statue depicting an Icene, but an Icene with a very strange appearance to it, and with an inscription on it you couldn't read. Do you guys think that you lifted all of those?
I think Don would have at least taken the papers. I think it's probably a good idea to at the very least, take the statue that Kushi wanted, right?
Well, yeah, taking that either way.
Yeah, but with the other things, we could always play it safe just in case we get searched or something. And you could always draw the statue, like the icing statue, and make sure you get the inscription.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, could we
Yeah, it's
have
like a small statue, like a little statuette, the kind of thing that fits in the hand.
Maybe we could take it because it can't be that hard to hide.
if he went to the volcano, I highly doubt he's coming back.
Yeah. So yeah, why not? We'll take it because who's gonna notice it's gone, you know?
Yeah, as far as you could tell, no signs of anyone else coming through there.
All right. Yeah, we would totally take it back to everyone.
Yeah, I think Nautrix, since you were a little bit more aware of this uh, as they left, you maybe are aroused a little bit more easily by the return of these two.
I think the first thing Neil would do would be to go over to Kushin and wake him up to get this bad news out of the way.
Yeah, Kushim, you're shaken awake.
What time is it?
Like 4. Listen, pal.
Why on earth would you?
Well, see, there's a little something that we need to talk to you. I'll forget it. And she shows him the broken statuette.
Is that?
Yeah, it's the one that he stole from your temple.
Sorry, pal. Looks like he ripped it up a little.
Give me that. Give me that.
He hands it to him.
And he just sort of turns it around in his hands.
And yeah, you can see the sort of broken fragments of the ebony that makes up the main part of the statue. And what you were not expecting is that odd square profile cavity that goes through the center of it. Can also see where, now that the ebony has kind of been smashed in half and a little bit of the gold that lines the outside of it is twisted, seems to maybe not be as well affixed to the main ebony part of the statue as you would think or expect.
What isn't? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
The gold that it sort of acts as a trim, though it also kind of most of the accents of the statue, including like the symbol of Krondus, are all rendered in that gold.
Ah, okay. No. This won't do. I can't go back now. I can't show this to the high priest. Why did I even go? Why did I even go here?
You came to get it back. There's no way you could have known that he was going to smash it to pieces.
No, but don't you see? If I hadn't noticed it was gone, if I had done nothing, then, well, all would be right for me. But now, if I return in disgrace,
Well, maybe you don't have to. What I'm saying is, we think this Grace guy actually took the head. He didn't just smash it, he, like, might have brought it with him.
Yeah, there were no other
What,
pieces. Yeah, the other pieces weren't there. Well, some of the pieces were, the smashed bits, but the top of it's just gone.
And we found this inside of it. I'm gonna show Notrix the paper.
Yeah, you see the paper with that trademark symbol.
TM.
What about the archaic infernal? Can you try to have a look over that?
The piece of parchment that seems to be like a rubbing,
Yeah, and
or
the
the plate.
Let's start with the plate.
All right, so yeah, you take a look at this, Nia. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check, but it's not a super high check. Yeah, as you look it over, you see that it appears very stylized, and it's mostly this picture that's been inscribed into this plate. There are two figures at the center, the focal point of this piece. One of them is larger. You can see the horns extending from the top and a clearly feminine figure. And another one next to it also seems to be, both of them appear demonic. The environment, again, is stylized. It seems behind them are these two, they seem to be tall platforms or maybe even mesas with sort of a gap in between them. And stretching out to the left and to the right are what you put together are shorelines from the water lapping up at either side of them. And then all around them, at first you think it's maybe some kind of texturing, but then you realize that it's meant to be hundreds of small figures, almost rendered as stick figures. But it's almost like an army standing around these two figures. And the text underneath, it takes you a second to put together this more archaic infernal. General Nemesis, Lady of Vengeance, and her companion, the Centurion Devaratus, stand over the unmaking of the Horned King, the first of Devaratus' many deaths and faces.
There's that term you guys introduced me to, Horned King.
Oh, it says that?
The translates.
The unmaking of the Horn King? This is the first time I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Or
did he take him over?
Devratus' multiple deaths?
I think I'm
Yeah.
going to need that in writing to understand it.
Yeah, do you mind?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll paste this in.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Arigato.
I mean, at fast is my note taking, but I had difficulty following that.
General Nemesis. Who's that?
I suppose. Can I do a religious check to see if I recognize the name Nemesis at all?
I don't think you even need to make the check since you were discussing it actually earlier today that is the name of one of the Zamarakian dukes.
Oh.
Two Dukes of Zamrak.
Interesting. And what about the paper?
The paper, as you look at it, it seems to be a charcoal rubbing. And Don, as you kind of look over Nia's shoulder, it hits you that this actually looks similar to that tablet that you saw in, or at least in the form of it. It's not actually a tablet, but a parchment rubbing. That one that you saw in Dathan's office. It's also archaic infernal, but maybe it looks a little bit more complete. You can see that there's actually another piece of paper pinned to it. You pull it out, it seems to be a receipt dating from several months ago, but the receipt indicates that this was sold to Arex for 300 gold pieces. And there is an extra note on there. This value is to be doubled if the tablet reveals any new information relative to the tablets that we already possess. And at the bottom, you can tell that that bonus was never paid.
Yeah, I would tell everyone, hey, this tablet looks really similar to this translation. And I don't know if he would have the paper still, but yeah, he would pull that up.
Is it identical? Is it the same message or a similar message, do you think?
It's definitely not identical, but it's very similar.
Does it match a little better than I mean, I guess I can't really determine that. I was gonna ask if like the tablet that Defus was messing with looked
Yeah.
closer
Well,
to the paper than this did.
anyone who speaks Infernal can go ahead and make an intelligence check to try to decipher this.
Ooh.
Oh,
You can just go
very
ahead.
good. So, Nia, as you look at it, squint at these characters, starts to come together for you. And you feel like you can understand what it's saying. The first part of it, and again, it's not all there, it's a little bit fragmentary, but the first part of it is mention of the legions of Skarga watching from the kingdom in the south. And Saradomin's Templars tremble, gazing down from the tower in the north. The second part of it can see it mentioning a united leader of the militants and mystics of Zamorak. Then the third part of it, it's riding through the forest on the back of a crimson unicorn without blemish and with a black horn. And then the fourth part, the red minaret, which will burn with the flames of pandemonium as Zamorak is reborn.
Red minaret.
Mean anything to you, Natrix?
I don't think so. Though I suppose this must be what RX was talking about, or well, that conversation I overheard. This must be related to the prophecy they were talking about. It sounds like something they would be interested in. Interesting.
Hmm.
Is everyone else awake?
Uh,
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah, we can say that in the course of this, everyone else has started to rouse. Yeah.
I don't know why we wouldn't have waked
Oh, I think
everyone up.
Arcana's the only
Yeah.
person asleep. Whoops.
Oh yeah, true. I
Yeah,
imagine
you
Don would
never
like.
said that you woke Okana up.
We're sorry. Yeah, Don wakes Elkanah up. Fills her in.
Well, what have we got going on? What is happening?
Yeah, he fills her in with everything we've figured out so far.
Well, now we seem to be knee deep in esoterica once again, aren't we?
Oh, and there's this too. She shows Alcana the Icene statuette.
Now, what do we have here?
So, Alcana, as you look at this rather curious statuette, it seems to have been made in this, carved out of this light gray stone. Not only light in color, but also light in mass. It's depicting an Icene woman with this wild hair and these wings that look almost jagged. Um, Definitely a very different depiction from anything you've ever seen in any Saradominus iconography. You look at the text, and it's an Icenic, but it's not standard Icenic, and it takes you a minute, but you realize, partially through your interactions with the Goom people, this is a very similar dialect of Icenic to the one that they speak. But the text that's inscribed at the bottom of the statue says, "Most holy Ceres, our goddess and tormentor, daughter of Lapides, widow of Demos, mother of the new order, let no law stay the hands of the bold or the fury of the just."
Can you place that text, please? What is this?
But it certainly looks very old. It does not look like a modern implement.
I've never seen a depiction like this before.
Where do you think you
Another
got it?
icing?
Yes, it's certainly a very strange one.
I assume that he must have collected most of these in Frimfree, I suppose. Well, the other two
That would
certainly
make
seem
sense.
like it. But,
Do you think Elkanah would have told us that the dialect was very similar to the Goom people?
Yes.
Yeah. Don would say, I mean, if the dialect's similar to the Goom people, do you think this guy got it from Juniper?
I would say that it's the other way around, more that perhaps it's a similar source.
well, I think it's possible that the Goon people have preserved this ancient dialect compared to
Oh,
modern
I
Iceni.
get it.
Yes, that's what I said, other way around.
I wonder why they called this Iceni a goddess. That seems, if you pardon my language, out of character for Saradominists. They refer to one of their saints as a goddess.
Yes, it is a little bit unusual.
Goddess and Tormenta. It's kind of contradicts each other.
I suppose it would have been dependent on who she was tormenting.
Whoever wrote this, apparently.
Notrix, make a religion check for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kushim is still sort of cradling the figurine, and he just sort of idly comments, "Oh, there are many goddesses to torment us."
That was religion, Notrix.
Oh, wait, what? I could have sworn I clicked religion just now. There you go.
Oh, it's the same anyways. You remember that name coming up yesterday in your discussion with Toothpicks?
Apparently, I missed a few names there. Oh, I forgot it. I forgot a few names.
Oh.
Don't click that link. That's a bad link. I heard that name yesterday.
You did, huh?
Well, I guess it must be another figure active in Shrimpfree.
That would make the most sense, yes.
I would ask you to ask him about it, but I don't think it's a good idea to let him know that we,
Well,
snagged
he
these
was
from some.
he was mostly getting the names from ancient translated texts, or very similar to
Oh.
what we're doing right now.
Yes.
Suppose
Plot
I
is
could ask
further.
him briefly about it, but I mean, I asked him about Devaratus, and he was able to find a little.
Yeah. Why don't you? Sounds like a good idea.
I guess I could.
Well, maybe not now.
Yeah, let's finish going over all of this completely. Or was that the last?
Yes.
Was that the last thing you lifted from this person's house?
The only thing of interest is a lot of the other stuff just seemed like regular old stuff that would sell for a lot of money because they're old.
Ah, yes. But what do we do with this now?
Well, the big takeaway is that this Grace guy seemed to be collecting stuff related to the, the Pentaki.
It seems at least more obviously Zamorakian in nature. If it is focused on that, it seems to be going a layer deeper.
But he's got an interest in the volcano.
Yes, but does he know the same things that we do? It seems that there's more of an interest from his own perspective. You have to remember that kind of stuff is very, very rarely known. He might just know of it from the context of being a Zamorakian.
So is Don keeping the thing that he found just kind of close to the vest?
Oh, like his paper
Yeah.
that was in like that folder. Oh
Yeah.
no, I guess yeah, he would definitely take that out, and he would say, "Oh yeah, I also found these papers, but I don't understand the language."
As Don takes these out, you recognize that they are also in Icenic. They seem to be a couple of pieces of very tattered parchment, but you can see that they are written in this elaborate calligraphy. There are traces of gold leaf that has been pressed onto this paper, that this must have once been an illuminated manuscript. But Alcana, you can read the Icenic. And you look at these, and the first of these scraps of paper, it seems to start and end mid-sentence, but this one says, "For all Ilkuyander's zeal, the Skethik had left his people helpless. Endlessly besieged by the Mechmets and their madness, the pilgrims abandoned their esoteropath and built a new home in Saranthium on the banks." And the second one says, "Tumikin would fade rather than abide the contagion of their madness. From the rift was born a new pantheon, man, monkey, reptile, and beetle, shaped by the savage ways of the Carid. By them the old demagoguery would be covered over and forgotten."
Are you reading this aloud?
I mean, she probably would be, and please copy and paste this into the chat too.
A lot, yeah.
What did you just say?
I don't know. What do you think it means?
I Okay, so, Rond. Kushim's not very high up in the temple hierarchy, but does he know anything that fits with this?
Roll a religion check. You are aware that there's sort of a legendary race of peoples that once occupied the northern desert and the southern steppe, known as the Mechmets. That the mountain there, the second highest on Gielinor, is named after them. But you don't know very much more than that, other than that there's sort of a grim connotation about them.
I suppose he would relay this to the others.
Interesting. What sort of madness is this talking about?
I am not sure. Strange.
Is it speaking more of something that's more literal or more metaphorical?
And
Well,
all this is in Icenic?
Definitely some familiar terms here. Esoteropath, rift, skeptic.
But yeah, Alkana, looking at these tattered fragments, they definitely seem to be the same sort of presentation as some of the old illuminated manuscripts that you studied in your time at the monastery.
They're like, look, they seem like some of the old, same sort of thing as old illuminated manuscripts I've studied before, but I've never read anything like this in them.
I wonder if Captain Grace got this from Cerimbrium, where it seems to document the founding of that city.
That would make a lot of sense, yes.
Although it's also Viridian in nature.
Yes, that's where I'm out of my depth.
I do not understand what it could mean by this rift, and how, why, what does it mean by Tumakin would fade?
I have no idea.
Oh, you're more familiar with the desert than any of us, I believe. Is Timikin still as important as I suppose as important as the other gods of the pantheon?
Do I know the answer to that question?
That's up to you. That's up to Kushim's interpretation of his faith.
Of
Yeah.
course he is. Tumakin is the sun that brings light upon the desert. The lesser gods, they are merely facets of him, different stages of the sun across the sky. That they are not truly distinct. They are simply vessels for his bar.
Vessels, huh? One being split into many?
Split might have might carry the wrong connotations. It is more that he is one, but he is also many.
I see. I can't say I've ever studied too much, so I'll take your word for it.
I wonder what it means by the old demagoguery.
Yes. What was forgotten in the process of this coming forth?
Well, it seems like this the statue, the statue of Crondis here. It looks like it wasn't always a statue of Crondis, doesn't it? Everything that makes it a statue of Crondis was added later on the outside.
I suppose.
And inside was hidden something that is, as far as we know, most definitely not a part of the Korean religion.
Yes. So maybe that's a clue as... Wait, didn't Kinston say something about it being Mehmet in origin at first? Maybe that's all connected to that.
Hmm.
If so, that gives me a new guess as to what that might mean.
So I guess, well, we now even know the Mechanists were a people? Did I get that right?
Yes,
what I'd
although
say.
I do not know much more than that. There are things that I do not. I mean, there may be information that is not accessible to someone of my position. Although I am still of the highest importance in the Golden Temple.
Yeah, sure.
Highest.
Yeah,
Well,
Some
so the Mechanists were people following older gods, and they drove some refugees northwards who founded Sundbrigham. Apparently without the aid of any gods, because they abandoned their Terapath. And then the religion of the Krid was reformed.
to these new pantheon, I guess.
And statues were covered over with new ones.
That makes the most sense out of what we have, though I think we'd understand more if we had the other piece, and we at least have an idea of where that other piece is.
Yes. There is one ray of hope, Kushin. If we were to recover the other half of this statue, I may be able to put it back together, as good as new. Possibly.
Can't be too
That
hard.
is fortunate. Perhaps I can yet
Yes.
present it to the High Priest. Maybe. Yes. Yes, that would work. We must move quickly. We must recover the piece and... Yes, that is what we must do.
Oh, didn't you have some business to settle with the translation, Nia? How about we spend the next day preparing to set out, and then leave, well, I suppose the day after tomorrow, though is it technically tomorrow already? It's early in the morning.
Well, I suppose we did come here to find out more about the volcano and such, and we have. But, well, it seems that Rx is the one who knows the most about the volcano, and, well, he's both left this place, and he would be difficult to converse with, I suppose.
So, we spend the next day preparing and then leave at dawn the day after next. If that's all right with you.
Sounds good to me.
I guess it all depends on what Dathan has for me after I bring him these texts. Who knows, it could be something relevant.
It would be good if you could
Yes.
get access to that other tablet. Although
Yeah.
it's probably very similar to the one we have here, but knowing what they're working off as well might be handy.
Sorry I've been so awkward around here. Honestly, this is the first real time in my life I've actually had contact with a considerable community of, well, open Zamarakians, and honestly, I have little idea of how to really navigate it.
It is a most strange place.
It is. But, maybe it will become less strange, perhaps. Or maybe more strange. You can tell.
It ain't so bad though. I've got to a few back streets back in Xanaris, and those are worse.
Yeah, so it's a bit nicer than wandering through Shrimptree. No one has been actively trying to kill us here.
Nah.
Yeah.
So, as you guys assemble all of your various evidence and errata and catch up on the next couple hours of sleep to get your actual full night's rest instead of just staying up through the wee hours. Eventually, you do end up coming to once more, venturing out again into the village. This time, the rain falling in earnest. The skies dark, though still not the complete pitch of the night. There's not a lot of activity out in the streets while the rain is falling down, but as you spend this day preparing to set out again, what do you guys get done?
I suppose the most obvious is that Nia gets that translations done in the best handwriting she could possibly muster.
Oh, very nice. And everyone else?
Honestly, I think Alkana's probably just mentally preparing herself for the whole thing. She doesn't really want to spend as well, like I said before, it's kind of awkward for her to be in the village, so she's kind of mostly keeping to herself and meditating and such.
We do have our traveling packs, so at the very least, we've already stocked up on like traveling supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a big problem.
I think Kushim is going to be quite restless, so he's going to be probably sort of pacing around the town or trying to keep himself busy somehow.
I dig it. And Notrix?
I suppose you'll go talk to Tufpix and see if he's got read anything about these names, like Sarah's and these different names in his own research.
All right. So I'll say we will cut first to Nia and Dathan. Nia, as you sit next to Dathan in a pew with the rain, you can see it splattering on the glass roof of this chapel. He is sort of looking over the papers that you've given him, and he says, "Oh, look at this. This is very good. You actually know how to translate a couple things. You know how to speak a couple of languages. Not that I doubted you, but this is very nice. You know, I tried to pick one that would have a lot of names and dates and a lot of titchy little bits just to see how you do with the formatting."
Well, I hope I performed adequately, or hopefully even better.
Oh, yes, yes. So, it seems like you've passed the, let's say, the interview with flying colors. How would you like to keep working on this coiled emperor angle?
Hmm. Has Nia ever heard that name up before now?
Um, you can roll a history check, but I'm going to tell you it's probably not.
Natural.
Okay,
Oh my
you
god.
have you have heard that title, the Coiled Emperor. Uh, from what you hear, it's a figure from the Third Age. And there are a lot of figures in the Third Age that only exist in like one or two footnotes throughout the scholarship, that it's unclear if they're minor gods or major warlords or what. But a lot of like independent leaders of various militant communities kind of pop up and die down throughout the Third Age. This is one of them.
There's no talk of any religious affiliation.
Well, as you're pondering this, he has a satchel next to him and he pulls out another couple of plates and he says, "Well, since you seem to have done so good at this, how would you like to amp up the efforts just a little bit? Just yeah, you look like you could handle it. I can tell you can handle it."
Hmm. I suppose there's no harm in trying.
I guess I can. Hmm. He kind of furrows his brow. As I can pay you 5 gold pieces for each plate that you translate. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. Though I'm not sure how much longer we'll be in town. I do believe we might be leaving in a couple days. But I can get done what I can get done. And I have nothing else to do, so
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. Yes, these ones are a bit. These ones, even, I'll admit, if I hadn't seen how just wonderful you're doing with this one, I might not have given this to you. This one, even I've looked it over. It's a little bit tricky, but see what you can make of it. He hands you
Yes,
this other short stack of plates. So, Nia, my star translator now, is there anything else I can do for you?
hmm, man, I want to have her ask something that will make him think of the tablet, but I don't know how to do it.
you could ask him what he's working on.
There's an idea. Yeah, she says, "Oh, so you're a translator too?"
Oh, well, it's one of many duties. I have a lot of plates up in the air. That's where I like to keep them. Uh, we are expanding all the time. We've got big, big plans.
You really seem like a busy guy. Are you sure you wouldn't want me to take some of the stuff off of your plate? Excuse the pun.
Oh, much as I would love that, there are some things that, hush hush, confidential things that I, well, we want to keep it a surprise and we have to make sure that, people from outside the community aren't getting any nasty little thoughts in their nasty little heads.
I suppose it makes sense.
But if that's all, I am looking forward to seeing these translations so much. I am sure they will be a hoot.
Alrighty then. Have a good day, and I'll probably see you tomorrow or the day after. Depends how long this takes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Though, if you're feeling ambitious, I should be here the rest of the day. But no pressure, though, no pressure. I trust you to work at your own pace.
Kind of nods, smiles, turns and leaves.
And he once more disappears into that side door.
I think just before she leaves, once he's through the side door, she stops, turns around, and she's gonna go over to that door quietly. Just take a peek through the keyhole. Oh no, wait, she can't take a peek through the keyhole because Don got his thing stuck in there.
Ah, it's fine. Someone probably cleaned it out, right?
I don't know.
Oh no.
It's not worth it.
I thought
She just
I thought it
leaves.
just broke off, and we must have retrieved the other piece because I need the piece to repair it.
True. I'm sure I didn't mess up any mechanics inside.
Yeah, all right. You kneel down, peek through the keyhole, and all you really see is that plain hallway and him disappear into one of the doors.
Well, I don't know what I was expecting. Evil room with an evil altar? And she shrugs and walks away.
Right. Now, we cut to Notrix and Toothpicks. Notrix, how do you think you have set up the scene? Where is Toothpicks as you've approached him?
Well, I guess probably similarly to the last times I've spoken to him. If he's still up in his little study, knock on the door, he'd come down.
Yeah. Come down once more to his bedroom and he says, "Oh, Notrix. Seems like you and your friends were pretty busy last night."
Oh well, had a bit of a morning conversation, I suppose. Things came up.
Uh, it's fine. I'm not trying to get into anything that's not my business. So, it's on your mind.
Well, there's a few minor things, more questions, I guess. We found a few more fragments of history from here in Flintbury, and I was wondering if you recognise any of the names from your own research. I've got three names here. Well, you mentioned Ceres, I think, last time.
Yes. Well, it's the main works that I was working on translating. It's about the Zamarakian dukes, but it only covers 10 of them, and Devoratus and Ceres apparently they don't enter the picture until much later.
Right. Well, you told me about Devaratus, but have you found any more details about Ceres? Other than that, they're a Duke, I suppose.
Not very much in particular. I have general knowledge, some scholarship from the late Third Age that talks about Ceres being one of the more militant generals of Zamorak. Let's see. He actually pulls out a notebook that he's got with him. Uh, well, it seems like she was never one of the most prominent generals, but as far as I can find, it's mostly mentions of her leading campaigns in the late Third Age, one of her leading a combined force of demons and elves. Uh, Nothing much that's too specific.
So there were Zamarakian elves then?
Or at least an alliance with them.
I suppose the Third Age was a chaotic landscape of shifting alliances.
Yes, everyone was allied with everyone else at some point or another.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that adds to the confusion regarding a lot of these texts. I mean, everything was very, well, chaotic.
Oh, you don't know how right you are. It's so tricky when you come up on a text and it just makes one offhand reference to another god or another kingdom, and you don't know if it's the time where they're best mates or where they want to tear each other down. Sometimes it seems like that changes within only less than a century between entries.
Definitely. The other Duke I heard more about this morning was a general nemesis. I don't suppose you have more details on her.
Yes, another one of the Zamarakian dukes, uh, aligned with vengeance, particularly. Though it's
Oh, a good
rather
name.
silly to talk of these demonic generals as having something so concrete and ordered as an alignment. But that it was her job essentially to punish Zamorak's most high profile enemies.
Let's see. There's a third name I heard this morning, but I'm not sure if this is a Duke, so maybe you don't know. And Ilkuyanda?
Ilkuyanda?
Yes,
Weird name.
definitely. Possibly something about the something to do about the founding of Seraphium or Seraphium. I guess that's definitely not our area of expertise.
Uh, yes, I can't say that that sounds familiar at all. What's the situation? Thinking of becoming a historian?
Well, to be honest, kinda. I don't know. Well, a lot of the things that me and my companions come across require a quite a knowledge of history. You know, in order to one must understand history in order to understand, well, anything really.
One must understand history. Look at you pretending to be an academic.
I know. I know some academia. I mean, I'm not as professional as you, certainly, but
Well, I suppose deep down all of us know some academic.
damn it. Uh, well, there is another name about.
I'll have a look in my notes for this Ilka Yanda, but I tell you not to get your hopes up, especially if this is tied to Ceranthium. I doubt I'll find anything, but maybe.
Oh, you don't need to put much effort into it. I agree that it's unlikely that it doesn't seem as related to everything else that we've uncovered. Uh, I suppose there is another name that since you're researching Corinthian and Zamrakin history might be more likely for you to have heard of. Have Have you come across any mentions of the Horned King?
I have. What what have you been researching about the Horned King?
Well, it's some mysterious figure from deep history that, well, the mention of the name and indeed the symbol perhaps associated with that name, it comes up in a variety of different places. Really, it's it's kind of hard to avoid it at this point.
I think you've pretty much summed up the scholarship. The Horned King is something that, from what I can tell, existed in the late Second Age, left some indelible mark on the world, and then disappeared utterly, entirely. Seems almost to have been very deliberately wiped out.
I think there's definitely something to that.
He kind of glances out the window. And he turns back to you. What I'm about to say, some would consider blasphemy. And it's a lot of this is personal judgment, is inference, is putting things together that maybe perhaps I'm wrong about. But whatever this Horned King was, I believe that Zamorak feared it. I think possibly all the gods did.
That's... That is possible. Whatever this Horned King is, it's certainly a very... sorry. It disrupt... It was definitely an antagonistic force to the gods, as I understand it. I know it caused a lot of trouble for Armadillo, I believe. I've uncovered down in the south more, and I've definitely found evidence of conflicts with Zamrakians.
Yes, it almost seems as if something in the record as large as has Armadillo, or as large as the Goblin War God, was scrubbed from the record. And that's maybe a paranoid way of putting it. I mean, so much of what we have from the Third Age is so fragmentary, but it's definitely something. It's drawn my attention more than once.
Well, it's definitely drawn my attention as well. So you haven't uncovered anything more about it?
Well, from what I can tell, is that there were once large holdings of this Horned King all throughout the north and the east of Farinthri, but I haven't been able to put together anything close to borders or distinct outposts.
I suspect it may have been superseded by Zamrakianism in Frimfree, definitely. Well, that's my current theories so far. I just uncovered reference to Devaratus actually defeating the Horned King somehow.
Devaratus defeating the Horned King?
Well, the exact word was unmaking, but I mean that may have something to do with the scrubbing of history, as you put it.
Huh. Now that is curious. Though with what I've put together, I'd almost find it incredible for even an entity so powerful as a demonic duke to defeat the Horned King on its own. I mean, for a demon to destroy something that the gods fear. Perhaps I've been jumping to conclusions too much.
No, I think your conclusions are onto something, but well, Perhaps I should tell you this. There's something that this is probably even more blasphemy than what you said, but I think that the Horned King was, well, I think at least at some point it was mortal rather than divine.
Kind of just takes that in and says, funnily enough, that doesn't surprise me. What very few scattered references I've been able to find have almost, again, maybe this is ascribing emotion where there is none, but seem to almost obstinately refuse to refer to the Horned King as a god, even though it's held in the same esteem as one. Don't know what could make a mortal turn into the divine, though.
Hmm. I don't know. Is that sounds like some that sound well. That sounds like something more up your street with all your wizarding and such.
Even the greatest wizards of history have never approached anything like godhood.
Well, don't the Frenwick say that runecrafting is stealing the powers of the gods?
Ah, Fremennik. Who would care about what any of those savages would have to say?
I suppose so. Do well, out of curiosity, do you? And I'm referring to Zamrak and wizards as a whole. Do you still look into the secret of runecrafting?
Honestly, even though as hard as the tower tries to restrict any sort of access to runes, you know the right places to look. There are so many holes, so many leaks in the distribution. It's not actually as big a challenge as you might think to get hold of the runes that we need. I suppose it's never been much of a necessity, really.
That's fair. Oh wait, well where could I get my hand on some runes? Actually, I know I don't need them as much as a wizard does, but I do occasionally use them.
How do you? I've got some runes I could lend you.
Well, lend I guess is a bit of a strong word. I'm sure you know they disappear after they're used.
I can give you some runes. Just don't say that I never did anything for you, alright?
Well, I've bothered you with so many questions. I can't say you haven't been helpful.
Alright. Hold on. Goes up the ladder, comes down a second later, hands you a small, humble looking pouch, and he says, should be about 50 runes in there. Use them wisely, alright?
And that is plenty. Thank you very much, Tuffnix.
Yeah, honestly, I've got enough of them for anything that I'd need to do. Most of the time, at least.
Yeah, that's good. But uh, I don't suppose that you. I don't know. I should ask. I don't suppose that you know the spell used to identify magical objects.
You want me to identify a magical object?
Well, my companions and I are sorely lacking in such abilities, and I guess we have come across a few objects which could use some identifying. I don't know. I just thought I might ask.
Huh. Well, unfortunately, that sort of thing hasn't exactly been my bailiwick, though. I've still got all my old spellbooks up there. If you give me some time, tomorrow I could probably pull out some books, look up the old spell crafting and the old enchantments. I could maybe pull it off.
I'll think about it. Although, I suppose this has to come eventually. I think me and my companions will be heading off to investigate some other things. Which means we'll be leaving.
Back into the adventuring life.
Yes, but I always. I
So
plan to
you've
come
been to
back
the
on foot.
Wushankos, you've been to Farinthri, you've been to Mauritania. What's next? Delving the Karazi jungles? Bashing in the heads of a few ogres down in the Philtips?
I don't.
Maybe you'll go mow down some elves.
No, none of those things. I'll be staying here in Frinfree, so I'll be right nearby. And I'm not going too far. It's just going to investigate some. Well, perhaps some of the things you mentioned to me, like the old city, the jail of Devaratus, perhaps. Yeah, if one could find such a thing.
Of course. Well, I've spent a lot of time worrying about you, Nortrix, and I'm starting to realize that worrying's not doing much good, and, well, you and your friends seem almost preternaturally capable of looking after yourselves. Live your life, Nortrix. Though, I do think you could make a difference here. I understand that that's not your calling.
You don't need to worry about us. We're all very competent, at least most of the time.
Don't worry. I won't. He gives you a couple of pats on the shoulder. He heads back up into his study.
Okay. And yeah, I guess I don't know if anyone wants things identified. Oh, I know there's some things people might want identified, perhaps. And I guess that's sort of a bit of my application of my one feature that I never use, but or free spellcasting, but I don't know. If people can look through their inventories and see if they want anything.
I get the feeling anything Pentarchy related is just going to get the same as Peyton's attempt to identify the cage.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Besides, I'm fairly certain we know what the candlesticks are anyway, more or less.
About the eye.
Oh, like the thing.
Oh yeah, the
out of
eye.
Dragon skull.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be interesting to see.
Don't know how the hell we're going to explain that to your brother, but whatever.
We came across a dead dragon. Easy.
No, we're not saying that.
Well, why not? We just pick it up in the fruit tree.
Well, yeah,
There's
like
artifacts
we're
laying around
walking
everywhere.
along. Yeah.
Okay, but say it in a better way than that.
It's not like we killed it.
What's wrong with saying we just came across a dead dragon?
I was never mind.
Oh, did we find this in the nest though, or did we find it like
In
on the
nest.
dragon itself? Okay. In the nest.
Yeah, remember you had to bring
wrap-
this, you had to split open the skull with your karate.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I did that, but
Yeah,
I
let's
wasn't
say.
here to do it.
So, does anything else happen today, or do you guys just kind of come together in the evening after taking sort of whatever personal time you need?
I don't think anything else is really happening.
Yeah. No, Nia just gets to work translating. Nothing else to do.
Oh yeah. Nia, these plates, they actually seem rather interesting. They go more into depth on the Coiled Emperor, though. It seems like there are a lot of references that seem to indicate like assume familiarity with a much larger work, names and places that mean nothing to you as you read through it. And so it's a little hard to follow. But you find that this Coiled Emperor is a servant of the goddess Lema, who is depicted as a hydra and a guardian of magic. There is a mention of a druid who brought the truth from the frozen east in order to disavow the heretical esoteropaths. There is a reference to the Coiled Emperor ruling over the low places on the plains. And there is a reference to an attack on the Jeweled Reservoir as a vengeance against Zamorak and Mephidas. Towards the end of these three plates that you've been looking over, there is a mention of elves from Terranus Gog and Orcish Mentalis from Pad Astea, but only in passing. Again, it's a lot of names and places without very much context.
Yeah. I'm struggling to take notes over here, for the record.
Oh yeah, I got about 25% of that.
You can always
I got
rewatch
about
the recordings and things like that.
75%, and most of what's missing are the names.
Yeah, well, when we watch the recording, don't worry about it. There we go. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Haven't heard that one.
Oh, thank God. I got at least Lima right. That's one name I didn't misspell.
Mephitis? Who's that?
I was one letter off on that one. Damn it!
Sorry,
I'll just fill you in.
we're
Let's say
annotating.
Nautrix looks over Nia's shoulder. You recognize the name as another one of the demonic generals, demonic dukes.
Quite a few of those.
And what did you say about a druid who something?
Brought truth from the frozen east to disavow heretical esoteropaths.
Oh, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, could you write that in chat for me, please? Thanks.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Always photographic.
So, yeah, man. So, Nia, you spend a few hours translating all of this, most of it not making a ton of sense to you, but feeling fairly confident in your translation. As you guys all take an evening's rest and awake the next morning. This morning, there is still the sound of rain from outside, but it is not the downpour that you had for much of the day yesterday. It is, it's much lighter, more of a drizzle. You do still occasionally hear the distant rumble of thunder. The sky is still dark, but it seems as if the storm came and passed without leaving a very huge impact.
Well, how are we all feeling?
I think we're all very well rested. Does anyone have anything they want to show Tufties before we think of leaving this morning?
I don't really have anything.
Show him for what?
I
hey.
assume Notfix mentioned yesterday that Tufties can identify magical things.
Oh, but in that case, she does not say that. She says, "Oh, hey," and she pulls out the glass dragon eye. What about this?
That's definitely a candidate. I was thinking, Notfix pulls out the tiara with the high horns symbol on it. I believe this was magical, wasn't it?
Yes, once magical. Had some kind of enchantment on it that has since expired.
They might be able to get something out of it. Well, are you sure you don't want to look at anything? Want to look at anything from Vold's mansion, Arcana?
And I guess she might, sort of look. I suppose if I was most interested in anything, it's the candlesticks, but I'm not sure exactly how much good that will do.
Maybe you'll learn something new about him. I don't know.
Didn't you guys have a wizard friend try to do something similar on Juniper?
Yeah.
Maybe
it's best to not. Maybe it would be wise to not subject your brother to that. I think I can live with it as it is now.
Weren't there other things from Vold's house? Or did Loki just disappear with all of those?
I think Logie had him. Like, there was a crystal, but I don't know if he put that back or not.
I know Nia
We
had.
did put it back. We
Oh, okay.
kind of had to.
Oh,
We did find
I
more
know.
of them, I think.
I mean, is it too late to say that if Logie had something that is useful, he just happened to leave it behind
I
for
think
you
it's
guys?
I don't think it's too important, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm most curious about that dragon eye, though.
yeah. I know Nia probably still has that tiara that we found at Vold's, but I get
And
the
the
feeling that we would get exactly what we got with Peyton if we tried to have him do that.
Well, didn't
So,
he fail his wisdom throw?
No, I think
So-
the fact is that identify the object even provoked that in the first place. We got something similar when Demolitionist Hubert tried to do the same on the bag of molding.
Yeah, well, I think the tiara might be a good idea, because it's not the candlesticks. The tiara
Yeah,
is
let's
something
try the
different.
tiara. Why not? Yeah.
So are you having Toothpicks identify the tiara and the eye?
wait, which tiara? Mine or yours?
Both of them?
2 tiaras? And what do you think? Should I show him the fire talisman, or do you think he'll just get upset about that, or worried that we're going to explode?
Maybe show him that last.
I think that might be the most dangerous out of everything to identify.
Yeah, like I said, don't want him going comatose from the state secrets of the universe or anything.
Yeah. There's also the monk staff and the Omamori that I got on Juniper. I don't know about those. I mean, the monk staff's been broken anyway.
Right, let's just get this stuff identified so that this doesn't drag on anymore.
Yeah, let's go.
Dragon Eye. Less Dragon Eye. 2 tiaras. Let's go.
All right, which are you having him identify first?
Dragon Eye, I guess. Dragon Eye.
So he comes down. You bring him down with you to the same place where you guys have been crashing. He sets up a little space. He's got a couple of books out. He's kind of half researching the methods as he's casting it. Puts a couple of runes in this circle that he draws in chalk on the center with this eye. That's a curious piece. He starts to concentrate on it. You see him close his eyes, make this motion in the air, and then he shoots straight back and kicks this dragon eye to the other side of the room. He's like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is this? Where did you get this?
I believe we found it in an... Was it the Aviancy cave? No, it was the other one, right?
It was just in a dragon skeleton, just lying in the wasteland here.
That is not just magical. That is something wrong. That is something that should be destroyed.
Man, I was not expecting the eye to be this bad.
Look, Tough Picks, whatever it is that you're messing in, I think that... did he just call you Tough Picks? Matrix, whatever it is that you're messing in, you should stop. You should just stop. This is... Look, I know that I said that I'd identify a few things for you, but if this is the kind of whatever that you're trafficking in, I can't help you.
I don't know. I thought that particular piece would be fairly mundane. I'm sorry.
Alright, look, there's some kind of a... In the brief second that I was linked to this, whatever it is, it's some kind of divining tool, I can tell you that much, but there's something else to it. It's made of something wrong, something that just... It's no kind of magic that I've ever had to directly identify or interface with before. Frankly, it's not one that you should either.
Well, we won't try and touch it anyway. It doesn't seem like it can be used unless you dig out your own eye and replace it with it, which I'm sure none of us were thinking of doing.
All right. Look, I'm not going to tell any of the elders about these things that you're carrying, but look, keep them on the down low, all right? Don't show these to people, and for heaven's sake, don't go about trying to use them.
Surely other artifacts like this have been found. Like we found these by simply trapacing randomly through Grimfree. It's not like they didn't seem. It feels like others like them should have been found by now.
Listen, most of the things that we've uncovered, that we've brought back here, have been brought back from special expeditions to Urbana or to important sites around Forinthry. You're saying you just found this lying around on the ground.
Well, a dragon had been felled by something, I guess, or just died.
This came off of a dragon.
Yes, it was.
Bloody
it was very
hell.
dead. It was very dead.
Yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't spend your time poking around fucking dragons.
I agree, but this one was dead. Well.
Oh. Remember yesterday, Nortrix, when you told me that I didn't have to worry about you and your friends, that you're capable of looking after yourselves?
Yes.
You you're not doing a great job making your case.
Look, it's just an artifact. None of us, none of us even have an inkling of how to use it. Look, we might as well leave it in a pit somewhere. To be honest.
That sounds like a decent idea.
I don't know if you want to look at anything else we have now.
No, I do not want to look at anything else that you have now. Understand, that is. You do not want to be linked to something like that. I know you're not an arcanist, Nortrix. You don't know the level of study and the number of rules and formula and algorithms that you have to learn and internalize to be able to channel magic in this way. But when you find something that entirely circumvents those rules, that operates on an entirely different physics, something that seems like it would have come from a different reality, I don't know. It's not something that you just turn around and say, oh, well, that's weird.
Well, Print Free is weird, okay? There's something here, or one of the ancient powers that ruled this place, or had access to this kind of magic. Well, I guess anything from that old time just doesn't fly with modern magic.
All right? You want my opinion, my guess. Whatever that is, it's a lot older than most of the things in Farinthri. Listen, I know you wanted to have a few things identified, but if that's what you're trafficking in, I am not comfortable in any way, shape, or form with delving into the rest of these. And all of you, Notrix's friends, I am sorry about that. Sorry if my brother got your hopes up. Frankly, he should have known better.
I'm sorry. Okay, I just thought it was some kind of magical prosthetic. It's nothing fancy.
Yes, you'll rarely find that the kind of thing that's been gilded and delicately carved and is full of jewels, it's generally pretty shite when it comes to magic. It's the kind of thing that you'd see put up in front of a Saradominus cathedral. Something for a bunch of people with no mind to think for themselves to fawn over.
Yes, the things that are of the truest substance usually don't tend to be very obvious or ostentatious.
Exactly. Listen to your friend, Nortrix. You never see a Saradominus making an observation like that. Now, listen. You said that you and your friends are going to be leaving today. I can't identify these for you, but is there anything else that I can do for you to set you off with at least some modicum of, I don't know if it's safety, but at least confidence?
Oh, you've already helped so much, really, with marking things on our map, telling us about the history. I think that's kind of the best preparation you can have out here.
All right. Well, I do have some business that I need to take care of this morning, so I suspect I might not see the rest of you by the time I come back. But all of you, stay safe. Good luck on your journeys. And Notrix, I'm gonna try to message you, alright? I'm gonna try to message you more often because clearly you're not exercising the best judgment when you're out there.
I'll try to call, return your message.
All right, and I won't. I've done a little bit of growing myself. I won't have to try to channel it through half a dozen other intermediaries like I did when you were out in Mauritania.
Yeah, so it's easier, definitely easier to talk to directly rather than, well, there's a bat signal.
Yes. All right. If I don't see you again, it's very good meeting all of you. In Notrix. Be safe and be smart.
You too, Tuffy. You too.
See you around.
Farewell.
Gives a nod to all of you. He gathers up his things, and he is off into this misty rain that's falling.
And Notrix turns to Arcana and says, I'm sorry about the Ceredominus comment. He needs to get out more, I think.
No offense taken. Honestly, as far as the traditional church is concerned, he's dead right.
Yes, well, most of the experiences of people here are more in line with Asgardian Ceredonism. Well,
Yes, and I can't say that I'm like that much either, but... Well, others have certainly tried to change things, and unfortunately, that didn't go too well. I really want to be better, but, well, it's a hard road forward.
I think you're doing fine.
Yes, I really value our friendship a lot, you know. Ability to see past things that are just, well, honestly, in the face of things we've seen, quite petty and insignificant.
Well, I've certainly, I've learned more about the balance of different faiths than I ever would have if I'd just stayed at home.
And I never would have learned of just how, well, how much more you can get something done when you find ways to bridge boundaries that have never been bridged before. So let's keep on doing that, I guess. It's worked for us so far.
Indeed. It's time to head north. And, well, we don't know entirely what to expect. And, well, a lot of people, it seems, have attempted to reach this volcano before us, and so far all attempts have been a failure. Now, we can hope that your nature might help us here and overcome obstacles that others so far have not been able to. Or perhaps we'll be marching back here, or perhaps to another settlement and talk to those who are still trying to do it themselves. Hopefully that won't be necessary.
I think it will be all right. No, there's a lot of misunderstandings on providence, especially within the mainline Cerdominus Church, but I have come to believe it to be when a bunch of broken pieces make a more perfect mosaic when put together. It's happened so far in our journey, and I believe it's happening again here. Just have to have the courage to take that step.
And with
Sorry.
those words, you guys prepare to set off, moving out into the village, wending your way through the tree branches and the mist falling. You guys do anything else before you set off on your journey away from Exile's Watch?
I assume Mia should probably hand in those papers.
Yeah, you hand in your translations to Dithan, who is just delighted. He gives you 20 gold pieces for your efforts.
Woo! It's a lot.
Yeah, after she gives them back to him, she says, I think we're probably going to be leaving today, but there's probably a good chance we'll be coming back.
Oh, all right. Well, my little translator, I am looking forward to it.
It might be a while, though. I'm not quite sure what exactly we're doing. I just know eventually we'll be coming back this way.
He's pleased to see you off, hoping that you'll return. But as you guys finally leave Exile's Watch behind you, heading into the forest, seems like a very natural place to take a quick break. Back onto the forest east of Exile's Watch. As you guys continue to march, managing to evade most of the rain with the boughs of these trees, slowly start to leave the enchanted lights of Exile's Watch behind you, leave behind these Tiffany fungi that seem to shine with multiple colors. The birds nesting in these trees, waiting out the storms, occasionally softly hooting to each other. The ground itself starts to become harder, the trees themselves thinner, less adorned. Now, you are backtracking, which means that the biggest part of making this journey safely without incident is how well you mapped it before. So, Don, since you're our cartographer, what skill do you think you're using to help lead everyone back the way you came?
Well, what skill am I using? I would say, Don. He probably, walking through the forest, ever since he became the cartographer, he's been trying his best to remember specific things like, oh, that there's a big mushroom there. Maybe I could draw that if this place becomes important. Or there's a big, there's kind of like a swampish area around. So maybe he would use his perception to kind of like look out for little landmarks that he remembered on the way.
I mean, look at the map. Don's already pretty good at making note of various landmarks. He's proved it throughout the past several sessions.
All right, so go ahead and roll your perception and then add a +1 to whatever the final result is.
Okay. 13.
13. 13, not super high, but still good enough. Dawn, you managed to wend your way through the trees, marking everything, cross-referencing it to the notes you've already made. Until a number of hours later, you find yourselves coming out at the edge of the forest, a familiar spot. You manage to kind of ease where you don't hit that same hut, though you do at this part of the forest can hear the distant whir of that mysterious machine. You've spent about 2/3 of the day walking.
Damn, that thing's annoying. can we look at the map and see, like, obviously this tile and this tile are safe, but this tile is where all the bramble bullshit's going down. So, I would assume. Well, is it like really late at night right now?
No, you've walked about 2/3 of the day. The rain
Two-thirds.
hasn't stopped, but it hasn't grown harsher either. It's still like a light drizzle. And you can, in mechanical terms, travel 2 more hexes.
Okay. I'm thinking. So this entire area in the middle here, that was sort of a big foggy marshland sort of thing, wasn't it?
Well, as you come out, you do indeed see. It doesn't exactly seem like marshland, extremely wet, but that there is this ever present ground fog through this whole area, this valley.
I think maybe we can head to this square and try and maybe skirt around the majority of that, and then head to this square and camp here. How's that feel for everyone? And then we just
Sounds like a good plan to me.
and then we just get right there tomorrow morning.
I'm down for that. Sounds like a plan. We just gotta be careful of the Drake, remember? He kind of patrols around that area.
The Drake Bane or the Drake?
The Drake Bane.
We'll be
And the
heading.
Drake, I guess.
Well, the Drake Bane's guarding the greenhouses.
We'll be probably far out of the way of that. God's help us.
Alright, I think you're right. Yeah, we're like around this area, and I point to like this, when I heard them footsteps, so I think if we're over here, he points at that, we'll be okay.
So, since this is kind of partially backtracking and partially new territory, I'm going to say that either Dawn or Notrix can lead this.
What do you think?
Ooh. Would you like to lead the way, or want me to lead the way? I can always do the same thing, like, oh, that bone pile kind of looked like Furuku, and, or Shuruku, sorry, and, like, he's pointing out little landmarks.
Yeah, I suppose you can do that. I do believe we have the same bonus, so
Yeah.
might
Alright,
as well
let's
let
do it.
Don have a little go.
Yeah. So, very nice. And Dawn, why don't you go ahead and roll a 2d6 just for fun?
Oh, fun. I feel like Leighton. Forget if that's good.
So, you continue marching, this time through the mist, which almost seems to come up waist high as if you are wading through pools. You can see the mountains rising up on either side of you, and far off in the distance, you can see that immense silhouette of the volcano, almost more a series of jagged shards than it is a singular mass. You can occasionally see flashes of lightning coming from that direction. But as you are walking across this misty plain, suddenly you feel something through your boots, a low rumble. For a second, you wonder if it's the Drakebane, but no, it's different. It's not steps, it's not punctuated like this, but it is constant. It is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. What are you guys doing?
Sounds like brutality to me.
Sounds like somewhere to hide.
Yeah! Oh,
Not-
can
not
we say
tricks
that Alcata has her armor on again at this point since they're leaving?
Sure.
I guess
Yeah.
can we
Sorry.
see anything? Or is there a big disturbance in the fog, like something is charging through it in the distance, perhaps?
Make a perception check.
I know that wasn't an intentional pun, but it made me laugh.
Yeah, you look around, you're not sure. This fog that's growing, this gentle mist that's falling down, you don't know exactly where it's coming from, what it is.
Kushim is going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on himself.
All right. Anyone else?
I think Elkanah is going to go ahead and cast a spell that I really should have used more often before this point. Aid. I can choose up to 3 different people, so let's go with Nia, Dawn, and Natrix. Y'all got 5 extra to your max hit points for 8 hours.
Oh, thank
And I guess. Well, Don, do you want to cast Faster Out Trace, or should I do it?
I can do it. Here. House without trace. Boom. We're gonna hide.
All right. Everyone roll your stealth checks then.
What? 37, boys.
13.
There's a lot of stealth in this campaign if you think about it.
There is.
Yes. You all sort of hit the floor, kind of the dirt grinding into the front of your armor, your clothing. Find a couple of what seem to be boulders and desiccated stumps to kind of hide behind. Most of you feel pretty confident in your in being unseen, but this rumble just continues to grow louder and stronger. This and at this point, you can almost feel the earth starting to jump beneath you. You hear this loud crack that startles you, but as you look at the mountains about a mile away, you can actually see that there is a small landslide there, that several rocks seem to be kind of tumbling down the side of it. Not a huge landslide, but big enough to create a booming sound. And as this is happening, I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Elkanah's weakness!
Don't forget the +2.
+2.
Don't forget the +2!
Oh, wow.
Kushi, boo.
Nice!
Also, is
Yeah,
there
+2
anything?
to all of those.
Oh yeah,
Does
that's
anything help-
everyone.
Does anything help Don? The fact that he flies.
Well, you did say that Don was hiding, which I think kind of puts him on the ground.
Okay, in that case, yeah, nah. He's screwed.
Yeah. So, Kushim, you seem to get this almost preternatural sense that you need to get off the ground, and as you hop up onto this desiccated stump, the rest of you feel the ground heave underneath you. Kushim, you can see the ground literally seem to move like a wave. All of you but Kushim take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you are practically thrown into the air by the force of this rumbling and crash back down. And as this is just rumbling, it seems like a cataclysm, like the world's about to end. It starts to get softer and softer and softer. And then it's gone.
I got dirt in my mouth.
What was that? You think that the dwarves might have had some kind of a mining accident?
Sounds like it. Ah, shit. Ah. Did that whole avalanche clear out the mist at all?
It seemed like with all of this rumbling that the mist kind of momentarily was disturbed enough, but it's already kind of rolling back in.
Can I see anything a little more beyond the mist? Where this whole avalanche came from?
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Check. No.
Yeah, you don't see anything that gives you any clues.
Can I try with the spyglass?
Sure, yeah.
I think that's a 20.
Yeah, you hold up the spyglass, look around, and you can see kind of disappearing into the mist far at a distance to the east that almost wave in the ground, seeming to continue on, almost as if it's a ripple. You're not sure, emerging from some kind of focal point somewhere to the west of you.
Is it like a wave, as in like a circular wave on a pond? Like, is it a very wide wave, or is it very focused on one particular point? I guess.
It doesn't seem especially wide. Like, have you ever been in a very strong earthquake?
No.
Thankfully, no.
Oh,
Thankfully,
okay.
no.
Oh, I guess I'm the only one. Well, if you're in a very strong earthquake, you can literally see the ground like move like a sine wave.
Well, today I learned.
And it's that kind of thing, but it does seem a little bit more focused. It's not like a big circular perimeter.
Is this happening west of us? Like around this mountain?
Seem to, yeah.
Whoa. Well, that's not related to the volcano. What could have caused that?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's still going.
Yeah, maybe it would be best to not find out what's causing that, given the last time we had when we felt the ground shake.
I wonder if that's what had to do with Renborough. Oh well.
Maybe. Like, you're saying, so, okay. Can we really see those mountains, or not really? Like, is it
Can you
possible
see which?
those, like, the mountains, like, to the west?
Yeah, you can see them.
And you're saying that this wave, like, was it kind of coming off of was it kind of like a mudslide?
Not a mudslide, more of a landslide, as if a
Yeah,
few loose but large rocks on the side of the mountain kind of became dislodged and tumbled down the edge.
Holy shit. Do we check that out, or do we hightail it north?
So did it look like that the landslide or the rocks impacting the ground is what caused the earthquake, or that they were both caused by another thing?
It seems like it would be pretty over the top for just the rocks hitting the ground to cause that entire earthquake. It seems bigger than that.
That makes sense. Well, given
Did
that
the mountain... Yeah,
given
go
that
on.
we know that there's several different burrowing creatures that we've run into so far, I'm not sure we want to go investigating this again for the third time, running into some random cave or something.
Yes, I'd say that we should just keep on moving away from it, like we were originally thinking of viewing.
You know, if you think about it, every time we go into a random cave, we apparently find something really serious.
Well, this is room free. It's known for being dangerous, obviously.
I don't think it would be, what happened in Remboro, because, I mean, the Ascendant would have to cause that, right? And why would she,
I'm
turn
not
a
sure Notrix
mountain?
mentioned that to everyone else.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't think so.
Sorry. Okay, never mind. Don did not say that. Alright, in that case, yeah, Don, I think Don would say, yeah, maybe you're right. Let's just keep heading north. Ugh.
Yeah.
So the party continues after being shaken up like this, back through the mist to the north, where you can see that already darkened gray light is starting to fade. Though, if anything, it becoming even more dark as you get closer and closer to the volcano. And you can indeed see both this black and white clouds starting to pour down the side of it. As you come up here into the lower scarps of what seems to be another mountain range to the north, I think even just passively, Notrix and Nia, you can notice there's something odd about it. And as you come to a place kind of partially sheltered by one of these ridges, you occasionally hear sounds of something, of clacking or grinding, distant but carried on the wind.
You guys hear that?
You'd have to describe it to me.
Clanging?
Do
Sounds
we
of
hear it?
someone else.
Faintly, maybe?
You said it was coming from the. Was it coming from the northeast?
And when they describe it to you and tell you when to listen to it, it's not constant, but occasionally carried on the wind that seems to be coming down the mountains to the north, you'll hear a clang or a scrape or something that's not just the sounds of nature.
And definitely to the north, not to the east.
Yeah, more to the north, not east, the direction of the volcano.
Do you think that's something to do with the dwarves, perhaps? It sounds a little like mining.
I mean,
Sounds like a pickaxe.
it's the best guess we have right now.
I think it's the one we should hope for.
Wonder how far away it is. And I guess can we make an attempt to reason how far away it is?
Yeah, like look at with the spyglass somehow.
Well, spyglass doesn't
Sure,
do
if
sound.
Nia wants to make a perception check, yeah.
Nope.
No.
That's a nat one there, actually.
Oh, wow.
Gotta roll the botch
Yeah,
table?
I swear, if you
you
break
hold
the
up
spyglass again,
you hold up your spyglass, and
Oh, shit.
No, I take
Seriously.
back
and
everything.
as you do, I mean, you can spend 2 foresight to re-roll that, so it's not a natural 1, but you don't get a foresight from rolling the botch table.
Ah, fuck. Yes.
Because you know what I was going to destroy.
Of course I do.
you don't want to be the person to destroy the second spyglass in this campaign.
Okay, that's more like it. So, Nia, you kind of peek over the edge of the ridge, scan the horizon with your spyglass, and you can see where the ground fog dissipates as the terrain, the elevation rises to the north. And it seems only about a mile away, you had spotted something wrong about part of the mountain. And now, closer up, you can put together what it is. That part of the surface of this of the hillside seems to be undulating very slightly, almost as if it's a cloth that's been painted or somehow disguised to look like rock at a distance. And you put together that underneath this canopy, this disguise, whatever it is where this clanging seems to be originating.
Son of a bitch. I never would have
What is
guessed.
it?
You see those, that rocky area over there?
Yes, what about it?
It's not rocks.
What do you mean they're not rocks?
Are you saying it's some kind of an illusion then?
Could be. It could just be a covering. But that's definitely where the sound is coming from.
It is getting a bit late. Do we investigate or no?
Well, I'd say definitely not really. I think it's about time we find a place to camp for the night.
And well, first order of business in the morning then?
Well, we can either attempt to enter enter the dwarven tunnels up there, I suppose, or go to that main entrance, or that thing we saw on the volcano itself.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but none of us are dwarves. So I think we would blend in very well.
Yes.
Nia kind of looks over herself a little bit. I don't know. I might.
You're not that
What
short.
are you implying, Nia?
What? I get that I'm short.
I think you lack the facial hair to look like a dwarf.
Do female dwarves have facial hair?
I have no idea.
That's what I heard.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't think all of them do.
Well, not all guys have facial hair. You know, technically, human girls have facial hair too. They just, grow slowly. But anyways, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we should, in the morning, we could always check it out. Maybe we could take a peek. We don't gotta interact with any dwarves, but we could just say we're passing through if we get caught.
Perhaps we can potentially investigate it as a potential inn into the mountain, and if it doesn't seem feasible, we move on in the morning. For now, I guess Well, I guess we have to set up camp now, huh?
Well, we know the dwarves have so far failed to get into the mountain, so trying to get in through their efforts might not be ideal.
But we could also potentially find out why they're failing, and then not do that.
Yeah. We'll figure out what they know. And
Seems like this is literally best slept on at this point. I'll get everything set up.
alright.
So, Alkana, as you begin setting up the campsite, what particular talents are you drawing upon?
Good question. Let's not go too fancy. Let's go rely on those old survivalist skills.
All right. Let's see that roll.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see the first one go through. But in any case, it would have been the first one anyway. So not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that makes it a 16. Yeah. What does this campsite look like, Alkana?
I think this time she would have sort of recalled some of the times where she and Devin would have gone out camping on some of more of the steppes of Ashdale, a little bit outside of the town in the summertime. You know, you go out, you pick out some dandelions to make some dandelion salad, you sit underneath the shedding trees in the fall time. It's a little nippy, but you can get a little bit of a bonfire going within rocks. And make sure no one finds out you did it because of the great bonfire incident of 149. Yeah, it's pretty cozy.
I like it. So, yeah, indeed. Alkana manages to set up this little guarded bonfire with the ridge that you guys are sort of camping behind. You feel confident that no one can see it from a distance. You all gather around, making yourself comfortable. Is Dawn watching through the night?
Yeah.
Very good. So, sorry, Dawn, you sort of sit up, find a little, not exactly a ledge, but a little, say, a pile of rock a little bit above where everyone else has got their sleeping bags and whatnot set up. The first hour or so is uneventful. But then you hear something, or you think you hear something. A voice, a lot like your own voice. What have you brought for us?
Huh?
Wh-
Who's that?
What have you brought for us?
Dawn, like, stands up and looks around.
You look
Uh,
around, and as you do, you start to realize you're not actually hearing that voice. That voice is coming from almost seems the back of your mind.
uh, who are you? What? Who is this?
Have you brought something for us?
Who's us? You freak?
Dawn, Nia, and Natrix. I would like all of you to make wisdom saving throws for me.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh!
Is Alcana within 10 feet of us when she's sleeping?
I'll say that she's within 10 feet of Natrix and Nia.
And technically, she's just sleeping, not totally unconscious, so it still counts.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yeah, as you are here just hearing this voice in the back of your head, you think to yourself, oh, this is just my subconscious. You know, you've been trying to cultivate a greater sense of self, a greater awareness, trying to almost find something to occupy your mind for these long hours when you're just alone keeping watch. And it actually feels like a relief that you're able to cultivate your own mind so well that you can even have a conversation when you're by yourself.
All that druid meditation mumbo jumbo Nachos was telling me is actually coming to work to use. Hell yeah. Alright, B, what do you got to say?
Oh, me? Well, you're not like the other fairies around here, are you?
I wouldn't say so. Yeah, of course not. Those
Yeah,
chumps.
you're better than them, aren't you?
Well, obviously. They're a bunch of Berthachus.
Yeah, who needs them? Uh, it's got to be a Reenag all the way.
That's what I'm saying. God, I'm smart.
You, you are smart.
I am smart. But hey, uh, nah, I was gonna ask if you were smarter than me, but you are me. So obviously you're pretty smart.
Yeah. Seems like you think that Nia's pretty smart too, but who would you say is smarter, you or Nia?
Who's smarter, me or Nia? Uh, I mean, I get she's a teacher, but I have been around, quite a lot. I might not have gone to college, but I think I could, you know, muster a few, if you ask me what I remember from high school, I actually remember a lot more than a lot of these chumps who just don't, it goes in one ear, goes out the other. I'd say I'm smarter than me. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what a smart person would do? Smart
What?
person would go off and investigate that thing that all these other people were too chicken shit to check out.
Which one? The mountain or the dwarves?
I think you know which one I mean.
You mean the dwarves? Yeah, I was curious about that too. No, you know what? Do I mean the dwarves? Do I mean mountain? What's more interesting to me? What do you think, boys? You're me.
Yeah, you're me too.
Yeah, man. Well, the other thing could have just been a rock slide. And the dwarves, well, they're probably trying to get into the volcano, so. No! No, you know what? We're gonna go there in the morning anyways. If I want to go out, investigate, I might as well go to the mountain, you know? I'm real indecisive.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Well, if you're going to be that indecisive, make another wisdom saving throw, Don.
Okay. Oh.
You feel yourself kind of seize up and start to fly erratically, as if flying is unnatural to you, as if it's the first time you've ever flown. And you start flying erratically away from the rest of the group.
Oh no.
And as you do, I'm going to say make a stealth check, Dawn, to see if you're stealthy enough that the others aren't attracted by this odd sound of your movement.
Ah.
Let's see. What are their passive perceptions?
19.
Notrix and Nia, you both, you hear Dawn kind of speaking as you're asleep. You're not sure to whom, and you kind of ignore it, try to get to sleep. But it slowly starts to become stranger, and you both kind of groggily half wake up as you see Dawn flying erratically away from the rest of you.
Don, where are you going?
Dawn doesn't answer.
Don?
Don, wait. What the hell is he doing? She gets up, walks over to her, tries to walk over to him, I guess. I don't know. I'm faster than him.
Especially going, flapping so erratically.
Yeah, Dawn is moving like at his movement speed, 30 feet per turn, I'd say. So are you guys both dashing to catch up with Dawn?
I see no reason why not.
Yeah, sure.
Notrix?
Yeah, I guess Electric is a little bit behind. Nia's just faster in general.
Yeah, Nia, you catch up to Dawn first. Notrix just a little bit behind you. What do you do, Nia?
Does he look conscious?
He's conscious, but he has this glazed over look in his eyes.
She snaps her fingers in front of his face, like really obnoxiously loudly.
Is that?
No response.
Uh-oh.
I think try and grab him, Nia. He's sleepwalking or something.
Sleep flying? Yeah. She kind of cups her hand around him and her hands and holds him there, I guess.
Yeah, Dawn tries to keep moving, but I think Nia's big and strong enough that you're able to restrain him. And then you hear a voice in the back of your head, Nia. A voice much like yours say, "It's not what I expected, but I'll take it." I need the three of you to make intelligence saving throws, please.
Aha! Finally!
Oh shit!
Being a rogue comes in handy. Watch me fail this now. Never mind.
Dawn, you suddenly feel this pain, this overwhelming agony seize your mind. You take 22 psychic damage and you are stunned and incapacitated.
Ah!
The rest of you feel the same odd mental pain flow over you. You both take 11 points of psychic damage, but you manage to shake off this anguish. And you look up through the darkness. There is this figure in off-white robes, tall, no features, no hood to this mask. I am going to say, as a matter of fact, let me put these up here.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
I would like you guys to roll some initiative for me.
Is Kushim still asleep?
Yeah, he is.
Well,
What's Kushim's passive perception?
14.
Arcana's is 11.
God is asleep then.
I mean, to be fair, once she saw the, I don't think. Well, she might know it's a mind slayer. Anyway, once she sees the thing, she'd probably yell for the other two to wake up.
Yeah. If you have to say that turn
Yeah.
in,
You can
that's
say
our first
that.
turn.
Yeah, at this moment, Nia is yelling for the others to wake up. Let me go ahead and position these where I think they would be. And let's see, I don't have Kushim on this map, so let me grab a Kushim.
Oh, don't forget to use your hit dice from last night.
I already did. Don't worry.
There's only 5 health, so
Look at Kushim's little tile. I love it.
I took
Uh-oh.
Sprite from Age of Mythology.
Ooh, very nice. Oh my god, we're getting attacked by Mind Slayer. Oh, I'm really excited. Oh, fuck.
I'm both excited and oh shit at the same time here.
Yeah, let's see. We've got Notrix, Alcana, Nia. I think we still need initiative from Kushim and Don.
I didn't see my. Oh, here. Oh,
You don't have him
I need to
select.
get-
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't select him.
sorry, it's been a while.
Hey,
There we
that,
are.
that 9 is the same as the thing you got the first time.
Yeah. Don's not doing too hot tonight, but honestly, thank you, Dice, for doing this to Don because it's very fitting.
All right, so Nia, it is your turn first. What are you doing?
I think she sees this thing, and while she might not know exactly what it is, she knows this is bad. So she's just gonna run up to it and gonna use, well, probably the one thing I've been waiting to see her be able to use, the dragon dagger. And
Ooh,
yeah, she's just gonna attack twice with that.
Nice.
very nice. Oh wow, first one is a critical. Hot damn.
And then I'll use my bonus action to disengage and move back where I was.
Yeah, you just hop up and start bam, bam, carving into this white robed thing, and you see that you are slashing bits of this robe away with the force of this. And as you do, you see underneath this odd mottled flesh that has the texture almost of an old tree of mottled bark. It's a very strange creature underneath this shroud. Let's see, that's a total of 25, 29, 36. Damn. All right. Notrix, what are you doing?
I guess you say it looks like mottled bark under there. Is it possible for Notrix to tell if this is actually some kind of plant monster, or I don't know if that's possible actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's up to his judgment.
Okay. Okay then. So I'm just going to do a setup turn, symbiotic entity, and Shirley. Just all the standard one. Two.
All right.
That's okay. And I guess.
Oh, that's the whole turn. Oh, you don't make an attack.
No, I'll move as well. I'll move. I will move. Yeah.
All right. And with that, Dawn, what are you doing?
Is Don like out of his trance?
Yeah, you're out of the trance. The trance ended when you took that blast of psychic energy.
Holy shit of Mind Slayer! And yep, he is going to hit that bad boy with I think he would use Moonbeam. Because he hasn't in a while.
All right. Make that 5-foot radius mark on the map.
Here we go. Right there. And he will also, with his bonus action, hit him with an Eldritch Bolt.
Oh, very nice. Actually, I don't think that's 5-foot radius. I think that's 5-foot diameter. Let me.
Oh, sorry. In that case, it'd be
2 by 2 square.
yeah.
Actually, it's a cylinder, so I can just make this thing bigger. So, where is it? Is it like that, or is it like that, or how do you want it?
I'd say like that. Yeah.
Like this?
Yep. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, and it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Or else it'll take all that damage. I don't know if that was just a low roll or
That was a 1.
no, it's 2d10.
Yeah, it manages to save, but it still takes that 4 radiant damage.
And here, I'll roll for my Eldritch Bolt. He's gonna back up, like, he's gonna like do that. I mean, obviously he's not disengaging, but he's gonna dash 2 behind as he Eldritch Bolts.
Yeah. Dawn, you sort of dash 2 behind. As you do, this creature, it you see it sort of rear to diagonally out of this moonbeam that has just burnt it. And what it is going to do
Oh, is this its turn?
Yes, it's his turn, I think.
Yeah.
Spores it.
Oh, spores. Constitution save. All right.
Pocket
'Cause
spores.
it needs to be at the start of their turn. It succeeds.
So it takes 3 necrotic?
No, it takes nothing.
Oh, okay. So it kind of staggers out of this moonbeam, and I need to check its movement speed. Yeah, actually, I think it's going to hold its action as you see this little glimmer of something, that kind of rock that it was standing on. See a glimmer of something behind there, and very briefly, Nia, you see a tiny face poke out from where it was. And then you see this creature start to shift and grow, and the white shroud is completely torn off. For a second, you can see its form, these tentacles flailing off of its face, these deep-set, cavernous eyes with this angry brow over them. But it doesn't stop there. It continues to grow and grow until you are no longer looking at this strange mind slayer, but rather at this gorilla, this huge gorilla standing in the midst of all of you. And it kind of gets down onto its knuckles, gives a loud roar as it lopes forward and right into you, Nia, where it is going to make 2 fist attacks at you.
First one hits, second one misses.
All right, yeah, you feel this fist just collide with your midsection as you take 18 bludgeoning damage. And with that, Alcana, you hear the sounds of shouts of some kind of struggle. You feel yourself kind of rousing, fully awake from this deep sleep.
Oh, sweet Sir Doma, what's going on? And I'm thinking that she would still be in a haze, dashing over, almost instinctively going ahead and buffing herself up a bit. A little bit of that. I finally macroed that thing.
Woo.
And yeah, I'm moving closer to the action. So
All
thereabouts.
right. And I think that's your turn.
Yep, that's my turn, more or less.
Kushim, you similarly have been woken up by this sudden clamor. What are you doing?
What beneath the sun is this? Actually, what time of day is it?
It is like about midnight.
Okay, maybe not the most appropriate expression, but I guess he says it automatically. Hi. And he runs up here. By all the gods, it's an ape.
Where did an ape come from?
Clearly, this is no ordinary ape. It must be a creature of the underworld. And as it is night, it is our duty to preserve order until the sun rises once again. And Kushim is going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Ooh.
So let me just find that aura.
What do the spirit guardians look like?
Can you guys see the aura?
I can.
I
how do
can't.
make
Run
that
to news and make it visible by clicking on your
Oh,
character.
Oh yeah, I can make it visible for everyone.
okay. What do they look like? They look like these. I was tempted to say jackals at first, but let's say they look like these birds. These massive birds with long feathers, except instead of a bird's head, they have the face of a human woman with like a crown on their heads, and they just sort of flit around Kushim. And in addition to casting Spirit Guardians, he's also going to cast Spiritual Weapon, and a sort of orangey, yellowish looking spectral Kopesh manifests right next to the gorilla.
Ooh, I like it. Let me see if there's a Kopesh. It's a long shot. Maybe I'll just go for sight. All right, where, like right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pretend that scythe is a Kopesh.
Ooh,
This is all in our heads.
a Kopesh.
Yeah. You see this Kopesh, spectral, glowing with light, suddenly appear above this gorilla. Try to take a swipe at it, but this gorilla is very agile, manages to duck its head, evading it, but it still continues to stay there. With that, Nia, it is your turn.
Nia kind of sees Alcana coming, looks at Don, looks at Natrix. Then she looks back at Kushim and sees these giant birds. I guess that's what you said, right?
Yeah, just imagine giant birds with the head of Cleopatra. That's sort of the image I'm going for.
Amazing.
There's
Amazing.
there's a specific mythological creature, I think, but I can't remember the name.
Harpy?
Oh,
Harpy?
okay. Anyway, Nia kind of sees that and says, "Oh, I get it. I think." And she's going to use her bonus action to disengage and move right in here with Kushim. And as she goes past, or well, not past Dawn, but as she's moving, she tells Dawn, "Hey, magic circle, come on.
Oh, all right.
You too, Alcana."
If you say so.
With that, Notrix, currently the closest to this rampaging ape, what are you doing?
Okay, well, Notrix, oh, okay. He watched just Nia run away, so I think he is going to, I guess, I don't know, Nia moving back surprised me. I just need to reconsider what I'm doing.
Hey, Nia is smart. She's the one with the 3 degrees here.
I think I am going to cast. Wait, what spell? What's the save on this? Oh, Constitution again. Sure, I'll cast blindness, deafness on this ape. Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Ooh, Constitution saving throw. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, you tried to cast blindness deafness on it, but it just kind of shakes its head a couple times and manages to shake this effect off.
Okay. And I guess I'll be moving backwards.
It appears to
There.
be the plan that Nia suggested.
And yeah, that's my turn, I guess.
All right. Dawn, what are you doing?
All right. Real fast. Can you just explain one more time how this gorilla appeared? Like, did the Mind Slayer disappear and then this gorilla appeared, or did
Like
it,
the
like turn
Mind
into-
Slayer just grew out of its robes and into this huge gorilla.
But did I also see that fairy back there?
Notrix and Nia definitely would have spotted it. Roll a perception check. Yeah, you're not sure how this happened. You didn't quite spot the fairy.
Why the hell did it turn into a gorilla? And I think before he moves,
What did
Dawn,
what turn into a gorilla?
the Mind Slayer. That's not an actual gorilla.
Oh, so we're dealing with that then, are we? Well, looks like I might have to get out the special juice for this one.
Yes, same. Don's like all shaken up from being like having his mind messed with, and he's gonna move his moonbeam to like onto the gorilla. Can't really control it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. And I'll have that gorilla make another. Wait, what kind of saving throw was it again?
it was a.
Or you can just roll it again, and we'll see.
Yes, Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. All right.
And you rolled good on damage this time.
I did.
Yeah, so you can see parts of this gorilla's fur starting to singe. It takes some damage, not as much as you'd like, though.
And I would like to dash over to here, and as I do, I would like to 5, 10, 20, 30, blah. I would like to hit it with a blood bolt.
Go head on. Yeah, that one does manage to hit, and you see this tiny little bolt of black, like make just a little bing ping, a little pinprick on the huge mass of this giant ape.
Oh no! All right, and then my turn.
See the ape sort of turn towards all of you, rear back its head and give a and then you feel the ground start to rumble underneath you as it starts knuckle running hand over foot towards all of you. Let's see how far. Actually, the only one, can it get to, it can technically get to Notrix or Alcana. So I think what it's going to do is it is just going to run, dashing out towards you, Notrix. And as it does, it sort of raises up both of its paws. It brings these fists down on you.
Well, the first one.
One of them you manage, to sidestep, but the other one, boom, impacts you right in the shoulder blades. You're nearly knocked off your feet. And at this, you see that fairy that you'd noticed, Notrix, kind of peek over the side of that rock. And then it's just gone.
Notrix was right there. So did he see if the fairy was the cause of this transformation, or was it something the Mind Slayer did itself? Is he able to see
I
that?
think Notrix would put together that it seemed like the fairy did this.
Okay. That's also something I was a bit unclear on. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, that's their turn. Alcana, what are you doing?
Well, I don't think that she's going to leave Notrix to do all of the tanking alone. She's aware that Mind Slayers have something aberrant about them, but this one's currently transformed. Does she know if her smites will still have any extra juice while it's like this?
I'll let you roll. I don't know, either an intelligence or an arcana check.
Well, let's go for the one I've got proficiency in. Oh, hey, that's pretty damn good.
You think that while it is an ape, that you won't get anything extra out of attacking its aberrant nature.
Alrighty then. Well then, let's just go with the standard one for this one. Let's hit it with some truth, baby!
Whoa!
All right. Oh, yeah, that hits. Both of those hit. So bam, bam, slashing into it. And you're kind of just high enough on this giant ape to dig into its shins, maybe its knees, but it kind of rears back and you see it sneer these yellow, jagged teeth at you.
Yeah, but I think she just sort of returns a resolute glare in its direction as she has got her shield up.
Kushim, what are you doing?
I think Kushim is going to
Move the spiritual weapon, right?
Well, first he himself is going to move.
Oh, yeah.
Like so that the ape is caught within the the spell.
Oh.
Let me just double check the. Yeah, it says when the creature when a creature enters the area for the first time on a turn. Okay, so it doesn't do anything now, but he is going to. You don't have to use the bonus action before after the regular action, right?
Right. You can use the bonus action at any point.
Okay, so he's going to move the Kopesh and try to stab it in its gorilla behind.
All right, let's see that Kopesh attack. Oh yeah, that manages to hit. And yeah, you just see this scythe kind of swing up and then down, almost right between the cheeks. It's a horrible place to be cut. And this girl goes as it's hit.
They say that Apmakin with the heads of an ape represents wisdom, but you have nothing of the sun about you. Blah blah blah, something epic speech. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
So you hit it fast.
Have at thee.
And yeah, that's actually high enough. It doesn't have a huge AC. So, what does the guiding bolt look like?
The Guiding Bolt.
Or you can just say that it's just a bolt of light out of your hands.
Bolts
Well,
of light that radiates like sunbeams.
yeah, it's like yeah, sure, a little mini sun maybe.
Yeah, this miniature sun kind of bursts out of Kushim's hands and burns right into the thigh of this huge gorilla, but it seems to just continue to glow, this bright beacon where Nia, if you attack it now, you will have advantage.
On just the first attack, or
Um, what is it for guiding bolt? Is it for the next person or the next attack, or is it the next round?
The next attack roll made against this target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
All right, yeah. So yeah, the first attack you make, Nia, will have advantage.
I was just thinking that actually.
Ooh.
So yeah, she gonna run back up to it and well, it worked the first time. So 2 attacked with the dagger.
Yeah, that first one hits.
And another hit.
That also hits.
And
Oh man.
I'm going to use a key point on a bonus action unarmed strike to make what is stunning strike again? Constitution save or be stunned until the end of my next turn.
All right. Let's do that then. Constitution saving throw.
Nope.
Oh wow. That's a failure. So you watch as Nia just kind of leaps up with this dagger in her hand and kind of does almost like a zigzag down its thigh as she sinks down to the ground. And as it roars out in pain, it kind of, that roar tapers. And then it just looks like it's staying there, head still, tilted back, swaying on its feet. It is stunned.
And all attack rolls against creatures that are stunned have advantage, by the way.
That is true.
Okay.
Holy shit, Nia!
Oh, and automatically fails strength and dex saves, if anybody has anything for that.
All right. Notrix.
Man, okay. Well, looking at this gorilla, does it look like this gorilla's hurting a bit? Not the mindset itself, but how does this gorilla look?
I mean, there's definitely some blood down its leg, but it looks like it's still fairly strong. It doesn't look like it's about to fall over.
Okay. So I guess Notrix is going to... he's thinking about what that fairy did and what this might be. And he is going to cast... Dispel Magic!
Yay!
Because...
Oh, wow.
Well, what spell level would this be? Would it be a 4th spell, perchance?
I mean, I'm not telling you. It's up to you what level you're casting Dispel Magic at.
Oh, I'm casting it at level 3.
All right, go ahead and roll Wisdom.
Okay. What is it? Just ability check. Okay, right.
Yeah, you cast Dispel Magic, and as you do, you see this form of this ape start to dwindle and shrink until it's no longer an ape standing before you. but a. Oh no! Where did I put that token? There we are. No longer an ape, but one of these creatures now, its robe fully gone. You can see its woody flesh, these tentacles ever writhing around its domed skull, its tall, thin form, its long, clawed hands. But as it shrinks down, it also seems to blink and blink. And suddenly you see that it does not look nearly as dazed as it was a second ago.
Uh-oh.
Nautrix, what are you doing?
I just cast the spell, so I don't think there's anything I can do with my bonus action.
All right. Dawn, what are you doing?
Ah! Don't let it near your brain! It'll eat it! And he's gonna cast Flame Blade. Whoop. Feeling a little
Point taken, Dawn.
feeling a little inspired by Kushim, and also Moonbeam will disappear.
All right.
It's
Flame
Constitution.
Blade. You evoke a fiery blade in your free hand. So yeah, that's a bonus
Oh, do I have-
action. So yeah, you can use your action to make an attack with the blade. On a hit, it takes 3d6 fire damage.
Alright, in that case, he's gonna fly up to here and slash at it. Oh, sorry, I need to make a roll for that.
Yeah, dexterity plus proficiency.
Let's see. Okay. Sorry. There we go.
Or actually, no, it's wisdom plus proficiency.
Okay. That's still a 5. Okay. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Well, then it's the
Aw.
same. You see this tiny flame blade appear in Dawn's hand, this just awe-inspiring weapon. And you swing and don't even come anywhere close to this creature.
Like, I imagine he kind of, like, chickens out, and he's gonna use disengage to, like, fly all the way over here.
All right.
Now, is it technically standing inside the circle?
Is it? Oh, man, it's right on the edge. It's your first time. It's the first time we've seen this actually used in the campaign, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah, okay. When he starts his turn, he takes damage.
How much damage?
3d8 radiant damage.
Holy
All
shit.
right, roll that 3d8.
Oh, wait,
Does he get a save?
He must make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
And then after that, he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay,
A Constitution saving throw?
Yes, because spores in his
Pocket
vest.
spores.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, roll that 3d8.
Let's see. I think you should be able to roll the spell through roll 20. Like,
Yeah, so
he
these... Or why don't you describe what all these flying creatures look like as they converge on him?
They all sort of start to flock together into one spot right above him, and then it looks as if they merge. It looks as if they should smash into each other, but they just sort of don't, and just sort of phase through each other one by one by one by one by one, and with each like little Cleopatra bird that merges with the other, they start to glow lighter and lighter until there's just one glowing yellow big bird, and that bird swoops down right into his chest.
Yeah, you see it almost knocked back with the force of this amalgamated giant glowing bird. And it seems almost shocked by this, takes several steps back. But then you see, as it looks up again, its eyes are glowing. I need all of you to make intelligence saving throws.
Don't forget the +2!
+2? Oh, shit! That's uncharacteristic.
So a 26, a 20, a 14, and a 16.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are rolling very well. Alcana, as you look up, feeling sort of the light of your charismatic paladin grace washing over your allies, you look up and its gaze meets yours, and you'll feel this burst of despair, of uncertainty wash over you. Alcana, you take 22 psychic damage, and you are stunned and incapacitated. The rest of you, oh, Don should have been incapacitated. Well, that's all right. I forgot about it. The rest of you take 11 psychic damage.
With the natural 20?
Yeah, even with a natural 20.
Oh.
Okay, 11 did.
And Dawn, as you are watching at this, suddenly you hear this sound off to the side, and you hear someone shout towards you in Old Zenarian. Hey, eat hot wand, you Reenag scum!
Ah!
And yeah, you take, let's see, that hits you. That does not hit you. So you feel this boom burst of force in your back as you see this fairy floating about 20 feet in the air, this wand tucked underneath its arm, blasting you.
You bastard! Damn it.
With that, Alcana, it's your turn, but you're incapacitated, so you can't do anything. Kushim, what are you doing?
Okay, first off, I'm just going to send the Kopesh flying towards his chest.
Yeah, makes a swing at him, just gives this nasty slash right across its chest. You see it stumble.
Okay, I think I'm going to move over here. And then once again, I'm going guiding bolt. At level 2 this time, actually.
Beautiful. You try to cast this guiding bolt, but you see that this time this creature sort of ducks out of the way, and you just see that yellow radiance shoot over its head, burst into a rock.
Oh, crap.
Spiritual Guardians, is that at the end of your turn or when it starts its turn? Oh, yeah, it's when it starts its turn.
Yeah, or when
Yeah.
it first enters, but I don't think me placing the area over it counts as that.
Yeah. All right. Nia, what are you doing?
Well, I assume we heard the Tommy wand.
Yes.
I hear Tommy wands are pretty loud for wands. Looks over, sees that fairy. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but it's flying up in the air about 20 feet.
I could extend my reach to 30 if I really wanted, but
Oh.
that costs a bonus action, and I need that for other things. Looks over, sees, I assume she sees that Alcana has fallen limp, I guess.
Yeah.
If this were an anime, her eyes would just not have any color in them.
Looks between the two things and says, Yeah, I'm not dealing with this. So she's gonna run up to the thing, the Mind Slayer, and first with the dagger twice, and then I'm going to use another key point
Actually,
to.
save that key point, Nia, because I want to hear what it sounds like when you tear down this Mind Slayer.
Holy shit! What?
Wow.
Oh,
You guys got a really good first round in on this guy.
yeah.
Oh man!
Well, that he means Nia did 36 damage to this guy. But so yeah, Nia kind of runs up. Just as she's looking past, she looks at Nodrix and says, "Here, let me show you what you might be able to do eventually." But she doesn't actually get a chance to do that. Oh well. She draws the dagger, slices it right across the face, probably cuts off one of its tentacles, and then comes back around, slices it in the face again. This time it catches it in the throat, cuts off another tentacle, and slices its throat open.
You slice open its throat, watch just the black ichor wash down the front of it like a waterfall, almost an unnatural amount. Then its gaze meets yours, and for just a second, you hear in the back of your mind, the spheres will have their vengeance. And it falls over in front of you, dead.
The hell does the spheres mean?
You look over and you can see that fairy kind of flitting up in the air, looking around very nervously. Is that the end of your turn, Nia?
Um. Can you? No, you can't. Okay. Or can you throw something as a bonus action? Wait, no, I'd have to use my bonus action to make that dagger. Never mind. No, that's it.
All right, Nautrix, what are you doing?
Oh, it's my turn, is it? Oh, okay. Should I spend a foresight to do something funny? Sure, why not? I never get to use the spell anyway, so I'm going to spend a foresight to just do a quick change of spells. And yeah, Notrix is stunned by just this display of martial excellence before him on behalf of Nia. But then he turns towards this fairy fishing in the sky and decides, I want to, I don't know, I want to interrogate that fairy, or I want to talk to that fairy. And he's going to cast a spell, which he doesn't get to use very much. He's going to cast Earthbind, which will take him out of the sky.
All right. Well, he needs to make a strength saving throw,
Yeah,
which obviously he's going to be great at.
Oh yeah, being a fairy.
we'll see.
Nope. Yeah, and you just watch the fairy, boom, come down to Earth.
Holy shit.
Right.
Whoa! What, did he forget Did he forget how to fly?
Well, Don, maybe if you practice your druidcraft a bit more, you'll be able to take fairies out of the sky.
You can do that? Whoa.
Of course. Guffix rules both the sky and the earth.
Is that the end of your turn, Nautrix?
I guess. Yeah, sure.
All right, Dawn.
Well, Dawn is gonna fly up to this dude. Is he like still like, you know? Is he still okay, or did he just get like wrecked?
No, he's just kind of sitting on his ass and trying to flap his wings, and they're not working.
Hey, you jerk!
What? I didn't want to do it, okay? I was forced to do it. Look, one of those things comes up to you. You didn't say no.
Yeah, you're forced to do it, huh? That's what they all say. Give me one reason why I shouldn't cop your wings or something.
Hey, you'd have done the same thing if you were in my position.
No, I wouldn't. I would have. Shut up!
You think you could stand against a Mind Slayer? No way, buddy.
You give me. If you gave me like another hour, I would have gotten out of that trance. Shut up, pal. And all right, are you gonna cooperate? Cause you are gonna answer some questions.
Come on, just let me go, man. I ain't gonna tell no one. I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm not even supposed to be out here.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Yeah, of course. You're just gonna fly away, never gonna come back again. What? How'd you know we're out here?
I didn't know nothing. Just this one told me that I gotta go with it. I gotta watch its back, and that's what I do. Look, I didn't want to do this.
It just told you. Like, did it tell you anything? Like how it knew that we were out here?
What the hell you think? It's a Mind Slayer. A Mind Slayer tells you to jump. You say, "Okay, I'm gonna jump." That's a thing that you do.
Did someone rat us out?
I don't know. I didn't know we were coming out this far. I never come out this far. Usually by the greenhouses.
He's gonna look at the party and say, what do you do with this guy?
Well, Arcana really can't do anything right now. She's just kinda stuck there with a despairing look on her face.
No, Don. Why don't you see how many of his teeth you can take out before he can tell us everything?
You know, it's kind of a good idea. I haven't come across a lot of fairy teeth in at least 2 years, and I'm getting some withdrawals.
You look back, and the fairy's gone.
No! Did he fly away? Did I see him?
It just vanished.
Did Nia see anything, or did it just vanish?
Just vanished.
Don, I think he might be invisible.
Okay, hey, Natchez, you got that dispel magic shit?
I can't do that if I can't see him.
Ah! Come back out here! At least give me your Tommy wand! Ah!
I mean,
I'll let you make one perception check, Dawn.
Sure.
Oh, wow. His stealth was a 19. So you look around and you don't see him, but you think you hear the faint sound of a whir and something landing on a rock very close by.
Hey, I hear ya! And he's gonna fly straight to that rock, and he's gonna try to tackle him.
All right. Roll an athletics check.
Why did I say tackle? Do I at least run
he's
into
worse.
him?
Yeah, you sort of tackle this figure that you can't even see, run headlong into him, and then you've just got him on the ground underneath you.
I got him!
Hey, let me go. I ain't gonna tell no one, all right?
Hell no, buddy, you're gonna snitch!
Look, I'm not even supposed to come out here. If I tell people that I come out here, it's even worse for me. I'm not gonna tell nobody.
Oh, please. Guys, help me out here!
Arcana is still looking despairing.
Actually, Alcana, your kind of haze starts to fade away from you, and then after another second, it's gone.
What the hell?
I imagine Dawn
What's
is just
going
like,
on?
wrestling
What's
the
going
ground.
on?
Oh, I cut the Mind Slayer's throat.
Yes, I can see that now.
Don's wrestling a fairy. Someone should go over and help.
Well, I guess I should go over then.
Like pulling his hair.
Yeah. You're not really in turn order anymore. Kind of you manage to go over and kind of find this tiny figure that Dawn is tackling and, using a little stray piece of rope or string, secure it.
And do I see his Tommy wand?
You can feel around for it.
Yeah, I'll feel around for it.
I think Arcana's gonna hold up truth to reveal the fairy being there.
Yeah, you hold up truth and you can indeed see him. He looks like a slightly portlier fairy, uh, older than Dawn. You can see he's got a bit of an ugly scar on his chin and a bit of stubble. He's wearing a pinstripe suit, but a pinstripe suit that looks a bit saggy, a bit well worn. And you do indeed see that he's trying to keep as close as he can to him this black squat wand.
What, you part of the Brotherhood?
Hey, look, that's what most of us are out there, all right? I didn't want to come out here.
Alright, you said it like 40 times, buddy. I don't want to hear it.
Well, you don't want to hear it, maybe you let me go, then you won't have to listen to it no more.
Okay,
Well, if you help us, then maybe we can do a better job at figuring out just what exactly the Mind Slayers are doing, and maybe you won't have to worry about them as much anymore.
yeah, help us help you, pal.
All right, what do you need? What do you need?
Alright, first of all, where's that Tommy wand?
He drops the invisibility. All right, take it, you rat bastard.
Yeah! I've been wanting one of these babies for eons.
All right,
Oh,
Don,
then
you now have a Tommy wand.
What?
I will give you the stats for that later.
Thank God.
what exactly are you doing out here?
Look, I was telling you the truth. This keeper tells me that I gotta go with it, and so I go with it. You can't ask him no questions. Look, you big, fayless folk, you don't understand what it's like.
Hmm.
I get it, but like, did the thing tell you anything? Use your head. Think about it.
No, you ever known one of these to make a conversation?
No.
You know one of these to sit down and tell you about how it's doing, tell you about the kids?
Hmm.
Mind Slayers have kids.
Maybe you don't know for sure, but based on everything else you've been told to do, what would it be likely to tell you to do?
I don't know. Look, I'm just supposed to be magical backup for it, and that's all I was here for. I didn't want no trouble.
Can I roll insight on this chump?
Can I roll insight too and throw in sense of motion on that?
Sure, yeah. And Dalkani, you can roll insight with advantage if you're using sense of motion.
Yes. That's still shit.
Can we all try?
Yeah.
We all hear him?
Yeah, sure. Well, kind of just casting sense of motion, you can pick up that he's mostly just he really wants to get out of this situation. You sense that his primary motivation is not guile, but just kind of avoidance. You're not sure if that's entirely focused towards you or if it's focused towards both you and the Mind Slayer.
Alright, this
Look,
guy.
I get that you mostly just want to get out of this sticky situation that you're in right now, alright?
That's right. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Look, you let me go. As far as I'm concerned, I never saw you. I went for a little flight around the neighborhood. That's it.
Well, hey, it's still like the middle of the night. We can't let you out of here. You gotta.
Where do you usually go? You mentioned the greenhouses.
Oh, yeah.
Don't suppose that you've overheard anything the other fairies say about something going on more out west? A little bit of gossip? I'm sure you've got great ears on you.
What do you mean out west?
You know, right here, right now.
I ain't heard nothing. I don't know why we're all the way out here. Well, unless it's all the way out here for you, or well.
She sort of
did you
like
see
looks
what
at Dawn
happened?
and sort of telepathically says, I don't think he knows much of anything useful, honestly. He's mostly just scared and wants to get out of here. Not sure if that's
Yeah,
sort
it
of the
sounds like
Mind Slayer, though.
Yeah, he sounds like a dumbass. I don't think he's gonna know anything. But I guess we could ask him about. We could ask him if he saw that rock slide a few hours ago. But other than that, I do think we should keep him here though, at least until you know we stop. We like get out of camp. Like we can't sleep here while this guy's free.
I understand what you're saying.
Hey, and she looks at the fairy. You don't think anybody would notice if you're missing all night, do you?
I, I don't have a mom keeping track of me. We don't exactly have an RA. Look, we'll as long as we get our work done.
In that case, you're gonna have to chill with us for a few hours.
I mean, they know if I'm not there, yeah, people are gonna come looking for me. They're gonna come right here.
Insight check.
Sure.
You need to make an
Yeah,
insight check.
it's easy to tell that he's bullshitting right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nah, it'll be fine. You could stay with us. Maybe we'll let you go in the morning.
Do you think they
But
really care about you? Like, really care about you as a person? Or are you just a tool that can do magic tricks to them? Think about it.
Eh,
How do they treat
don't-
you?
Don't toss that philosophy on me. Come on.
He turns back to Dawn.
You're Reenact, right?
yeah.
You know better than to think we go for that kind of sentimental BS.
Yeah, Alcada, these drinks are just that drinks. But hey, listen.
It's not jokes. Look, we got a job to do, right? You got a job, you do a job. You don't always like the job, but you got to do the job.
Well, I mean, do you have to? I mean, maybe with your circumstances, you're around here, but like, I mean, look at me. I paid my. I have like kind of a nice life now, but like I'm not working for Parker.
I, I don't know what kind of life you live. And frankly, buddy, I don't want to know.
I don't know. Have you ever thought of not working for the Mind Slayers? Like what it would be like if we could live out in Gielinor or something. It's actually kind of nice down here.
But I mean, what would you do?
There's
Uh,
tons of stuff to do. You can sail on ships, you can see great cities, you can. And
Bake cakes.
Right? But like, who's your boss? Who you're going to be working for that you're going to sail on a ship and bake a cake? Is some kind of a cake shipping boss?
at first, it's a little inconsistent here. Like at first I thought I had a boss, but then we left, and then I thought that she was our boss, and then I point to Arcana. But then, I don't know, you're kind of like your own boss. It's weird, right?
Yeah, that sounds wrong.
I know, but it actually kind of feels good.
There are many employers to choose from.
Yeah.
some people determine their own way, some people find things that they believe in to join in order to work under, something that they themselves choose to subject themselves to rather than having it be forced on them. You can be or find your own boss, one that will let you like and that would treat you much better.
Yeah, maybe.
Roll a persuasion check.
Mirror Alcana.
Is it
Probably Alcana.
with multiple people? Does that help at all?
Yeah, I guess it would be with advantage. So, Alcon, I'll let you roll that one more time just to see if it's any higher. Yeah, he sort of furrows his brow and he says,
Not working for nobody. I mean, it's weird. It's really weird, but I guess it might be kind of nice. I wouldn't really
Yeah, it
notice
is
if I
kind of
didn't go
nice.
back. Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name?
Well, they call me Randy.
Hey, Randy. Name's Don.
Hey, Don. Uh, maybe you Reenact aren't all a bunch of rat bastards.
Thanks. You know, uh, I've been down here for like at least 2 years, and part of me thinks like, you know, life on Xanaris was a little backwards. Even before all this tooth fairy bullshit nonsense occurred.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you what's backwards is living in a cell. Yeah, maybe it's not a choice between Parker and these so-called growth keepers or a cell. Maybe there is another way.
Yeah. It's weird to think there's a third option, right?
Yeah. Look, you let me go. I ain't gonna go back there.
Where are you gonna go?
I gotta figure it out still. And I seen these dwarves, these weird rocky dwarves around. They do all kinds of weird stuff. I've been wanting to learn some more about that. I saw some of them, and well, not in the best circumstances, but I saw some of them and thought, I'd like to learn how to do what they can do. I know they're somewhere far west of here. Maybe I'll go check them out.
Well, I've certainly seen some of the things that Don can do. I'm sure you can and use your own talents a bit better to, work with them, make some friends.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could make these keepers into an ape. I'd be all scared of them, but well, I mean, I guess they do sometimes eat people, but hey, you don't need to be scared of them. I'm the one who can make apes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make apes for myself.
Yeah. Hey, think about making wolves for yourself too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Think about
So
it.
so
Those
how's about it, guys? Yeah, how's about letting me go, huh?
Are you sure you don't want to stay here at least for a rest? You do seem pretty winded.
Yeah, I mean, those things certainly are pretty scary.
Yeah, we'll untie you at least, but
I look. I'll be honest. I don't like the thought of being this close to the volcano.
why not?
Hey, you hear bad things about it.
What
Yeah.
sort of bad things?
Just heard about a couple of druids trying to go in there. Didn't go so hot for them. I heard of well, I don't know if I should say.
Hey, you're your own fairy. You can say
You're
if you
your
want it
own
or
man.
not.
And now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I heard of I heard of the keepers sending some fertilizer in there, so to speak. You get me? You follow me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And well, they don't last long, but they last long enough to do some harvesting, some mining. I don't know exactly what, but that's kind of the end of the line for a lot of people.
So, it sounds like it's something that can be warded off to some degree, just through very
You
gruesome
don't
things.
want to go in there the way that those fertilizers go in there. They
Oh,
go in there, most of their brain missing.
oh, okay then. Good to know.
Do the mind slayers eat them before they go in?
Well, honestly, I'd prefer if they did eat them. Mostly it's prepping them so they can, well, be fertilizer, but the keepers, I think it's not exactly what their palate likes the most. Look, thank the spirits that they don't get hungry too often, but when they do, well, they like things that look a lot more like you and me than like this one here.
Ugh.
So we've heard.
God's messed up or working with those things. I don't even trust the fact that, like, do you think that these things would let us live on Xanaris? Like,
These
peacefully after all?
keepers?
Yeah, after all this, like, bullshit occurs? Like, say you guys, like, get rid of the queen and like, the tooth fairy and get your shit together. Do you think they'd let that happen? Like, do you think they'd try to stop us?
Well,
Or you?
look around. The sun never shines out here. But in Xanaris, right, it's always that golden sunlight, even though there ain't no sun that you can see there. And that's the thing, I don't think that they can last very long where it's light.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that bit.
I've gotten a bit
That is
more of
no
a read on
surprise.
them. Part of their nature is of a sort of creature that I've been specifically trained in being able to, well, dispatch and control. I think we'll do well enough for ourselves. You go live your life, Randy.
Oh, thank you. Better you than me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go back there not knowing if one of them's gonna feel peckish and make me its next lunch. Yeah, I'm gonna go make my own way. All
Go make
right.
your own apes.
All right, you Reenag so-and-so. What was the name again?
Dan.
Don, that's
That
right.
wasn't it.
Don, you go ahead and keep the Tommy wand. Yeah, I ain't going back there. I ain't going back there, no way. No way, no how. And he's kind of still revving himself up as he flies up and off away from you guys.
Okada just kind of waves as he flies away.
Same. Ugh.
That felt good and was very informative.
Yeah. I never thought I'd, have that sort of conversation with a Brotherhood member.
Hmm.
To think.
So apparently the effect is something that they're using that fertilizer to ward off. Makes me almost think that it's, well, not necessarily so much something ambient, but rather something concentrated in a something, if you catch my drift.
I think.
Yeah. Hey,
More that less dealing with an ambient effect of the land, and more with some entity that's causing it, if you get what I'm saying.
hey, how's the Mind Slayer corpse? Is it still a corpse?
Oh, yeah,
It's
while
still
that,
a corpse. If anything, it seems to be already starting to decompose.
I'm
Just
thinking
you can
that
already see like the skeleton, the bones starting to stick through that rotting woody flesh.
I was thinking that while that conversation was going on, that's what Notchik was doing. He was over here just looking at it, just trying to glean anything from its apparently decomposing remains.
Yes, it's strange. It's not something that you've ever seen any native creature of Gielinor do.
So it's
This
completely nude, right? It's not. It's not got any equipment or any interesting items or stuff like that.
It did actually seem to be underneath that robe wearing kind of a breastplate and sort of a long loincloth, but you can immediately tell that it's not a shape that would ever fit any of you. And indeed, it seems, now that you are approaching it, seems very flimsy to the touch.
Ah, this is indeed a dark land. To think, to eat a brain. Why, everyone know you must remove the brain through the nostrils with a hook and preserve it in a jar, not eat it.
Ugh. Why'd you do that?
Oh, right, that is a metaphite thing, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I first assumed, but I think the reason we're dealing with brains in both cases is different. One is surprisingly far more respectful in intent than the other.
So you don't eat it, right?
No,
Talking to Kushi.
Of course not.
Okay, of
The
course.
intent is to preserve.
Right. Okay, as long as you know there's no eating involved. Ugh. But ooh, guys, check this out. This thing, this baby. I hold up the Tommy wand. We used to have plenty of these back in Xanaris, and they're nice.
It didn't seem to be terribly effective when it was fired.
I think I was aiming wrong.
you definitely have had some good shots. What's one more tool on the belt?
Yeah, he didn't pull down the trigger hard enough.
Well, now I think we need to sit down and actually have a chance to plan now that that fracas is all said and done.
Nia yawns. How about we go to sleep first?
Yeah, thanks for helping me out of that. Ugh. Hindsight is a win-win.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
could just...
bit more of a nap and then we can get back on our feet again.
Yeah, let's do that.
You all settle down back to your places, back to a night's rest. As you do, I'd like everyone to go ahead and roll your travel dice. I believe everyone is at a D10 now.
Yeah.
So that's Nia, Alcana, Notrix. Yeah, so Notrix, your travel dice goes down by one size. So you are now at a D8. But you all spend the rest of the night without incident before waking up the next morning.
Does it still count as a long rest or not because it was interrupted?
No, it still counts as a long rest.
Alright then, let's roll them hit dice.
Woo!
Yeah, as you awake the next morning, can still hear those distant sounds of occasional clanking, if anything slightly louder in this gray dawn. The rain is falling slightly, and you can see the dark clouds above that seem to stretch back almost like a halo to the top of this volcano that is otherwise shrouded in smoke and fog.
Is everyone up? Everyone alright?
Yeah, wonderful. Just got punched by a giant gorilla last night is all.
If you need any healing for that, I'm over here.
Healing? No. But do I still have bruises? Oh yeah.
You and me both from the past week or so.
I think I still have some singes from that psychic lightning too. Ugh.
Well,
So what's it to be then? Should we make our journey towards, well, what appears to be the mining efforts? Or to that entrance we saw before on the mountainside?
That is a question, isn't it?
Well, I say,
If we go to the place where there's more population, we'll need to be a bit more sneaky about it, but also have the chance to learn more about it. If we go to the spot where there's a bit other place, well, there may not be as much activity, but we'll be more on our own.
We could always do some reconnaissance first.
Yes, indeed. But how much time do we want to spend on that?
Thinking about this, it is probable that, well, the other entrance is what the Mind Slayers are using, which,
And, well, now we have some first-hand experience of how nasty that can be.
yeah, at least with this,
Meanwhile,
at least with the mines, we know we're dealing with something not so
something a bit more
eldritch.
mundane?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the Mind Slayer entrance sounds like it would lead to something more interesting, although perhaps both lead to the same place eventually.
One just takes a bit longer.
I say we should
I
head
don't
towards the dwarves.
I
Well-
agree. This is
Hmm.
one place where we don't want to take as many risks. Because, well, now we have some first-hand experience of how nasty the Mind Slayers can be when it's just one of them.
Indeed. But we shouldn't make contact with the dwarves. Well, we shouldn't reveal ourselves, I should say. Unless we can think of a very good excuse for why we're being there.
It
got
was
lost.
hard enough with Exile's Watch. I would prefer not.
You just say we got lost. That's technically true. We did at some point get lost. And now we're here.
I guess so. But, well, we'll see how feasible it is to remain undetected. And then, if it is if it is simply too crowded with dwarves to think about going in there at all, well, we'll head to the other entrance.
That sounds like a good plan.
yeah.
So, you're heading towards the dwarven mining.
Yeah, they're covered over area. It looks like they're having an excavation underneath it and pretending to disguise it.
Okay. Just, I'm not sure if this is a character thing or if this was unclear, but it is sort of more, as I said, about a mile to the north of you where this seems to be originating these sounds. And not like over here.
I guess we're assuming that, well, they're digging a tunnel to and from the volcano, so I guess we're assuming that they've created another entrance through there.
All right. So,
Yeah, we know it's a...
as you break camp, venture over the top of the ridge and see this wide open plain, the scarps above, and Nia, where you can point out with your spyglass this odd area towards the center of this ridge. It seems to be not quite true rock. Unsure how you'll conceal your presence on this open plain. We'll go ahead and bring this session to a close.